All right, everyone, welcome to a stream. Hello, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
How is everyone?
Hello.
Hello. Oh, sorry we didn't do a stream in May. We were a little busy. And by we, I mean Jess and I. We were a touch busy. Getting married and stuff. So yeah, and an international move. So yeah, that was a little busy, but we got it all done, and here we are. So let's I guess we'll just do intros. Evgeny, what's up?
I see people have already astutely noticed that my beard has escaped. So the story behind that is that I used to go to a barber like before the Blood Plague, and I was really happy with that barber, and I just didn't go there since the Blood Plague. Hence this thing that's going on here. And so a few times throughout the year, I've had to take care of my own beard, and normally it goes fine. This time, so like my beard trimmer has number settings, and they represent millimeters supposedly, and so my trimmer has different settings from my barber's, and normally I remember that, but the other day when I was doing a trim, I set my setting to what I usually tell my barber, but they're different, and so the beard ended up a little shorter than it's supposed to. So we'll be back to a decent state in like a week.
Cool.
Hi,
Nice.
I'm
Excellent.
Hello. Also we got Joshua. What's up? Hey.
Oh, I'm second? Jeez.
Yeah, we're going in order. We're going in order on the thing.
Yeah, well, I walked in like 5 minutes ago because I was busy folding baby clothes, and now here
I
am.
guess that's acceptable.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Also, we got Rosemary. Hey, what's up?
Hi, everyone. Coming at you from the newly organized library.
It looks really nice.
Thank you.
This is quite nice.
I'm very pleased. It's now my favorite room in the house.
Yeah, no. It looks top notch.
I have this
does
giant
look
comfy
pretty good.
chair behind me that I can curl up and read in.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Every library needs a good, comfy chair to just chill out
Yeah.
on.
Mhm. And this one is giant and round and has enough space to fit both me and my husband and both of the dogs, should they so choose to join
All right,
us.
well that is a
Amazing.
big ass chair. Right there.
What do you need a house for when you have a chair like that?
Yeah, exactly. Also, my lovely and amazing newlywed wife. Hello. Hi, Jess.
Um,
So I am at the.
Oh,
Am I being laggy? Because
Yep.
yes.
all you are being laggy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on right now.
It's funny because she's
Everything's
downstairs. It's funny because she's literally downstairs.
you took like 10 seconds to respond.
No. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no. It's like
I swear I'm
Australia
paying
all over
attention.
again.
No,
Yeah.
it seems better now.
It seems better.
Yeah.
Well, something. Yeah, so I am at the entire opposite end of the house
Yep.
from Eric because we tried to do a setup where we were in the same room on our fancy computers, and that didn't work at all.
That did not work at all.
Really
Not
badly
even
did not
remotely.
work.
Not at
So
all.
I got to come put our lovely fancy bookcase in my background instead. So
Yep.
I'm not exactly displeased by this. I just wanted books in the background because
Also with
I
new
like
mic. It's very fancy. We set it up a half hour ago.
yes, I am in this sea of chords and technology, none
Yes.
of which I understand, and
Yep.
I'm kind of trapped in the middle of it.
Yep.
And if I need to get out, I have to like clamber over my couch.
That's right. Also,
Every
yes.
was gonna
Also,
say
I'm
every-
Lady Lameness.
I was gonna say every first setup, like when you first set something up, is just a mess of wires and boxes and things propped up on things.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, well, it's both the mic and 2 lights, and it really explodes with cables really quickly with those. So yeah,
it looks a lot more professional than like the setup I had when I did the single shoutcast I did while I was still in Australia, which was like because I had to do it on my phone because my computer couldn't get like good enough internet. But to get the phone high enough, I had it sitting on like a makeup vanity table, and then on top of 2 board games, and then on top of something else, and then I had this like fancy USB dock that was definitely totally mine, and I didn't take it from my work setup on my actual desk.
No.
And then I was sitting on an office chair on a pillow with like a footstool under me, like the ones that you stand on, not the ones that are like properly meant to be like footrests, so that I was high enough as well for everything to look good. And I had to pull all of this into the middle of my apartment to get it to work. I couldn't walk through my apartment. It just blocked the entire crossroads. So that was my first setup. So this looks much more professional, at least.
Yep. Also, with a new microphone is Ben. Hey, what's up?
Hey guys, my name is Ben. I'm not playing the role of Eric's wife.
Thank
this
God.
this stream.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
I can play that role myself this time.
Not today, but tonight.
But tonight, later.
Nope. Call Lucy. Lucy, I need an intervention. Right now.
He's going to see her jump out of the corner and just pull me away.
Yep.
Yes. Hello. I have a new microphone. It's a vocal microphone, so it's a voice recording, like a singing microphone. I will be taking requests later.
Can you do a little song for us right now?
Oh my God! I didn't actually expect requests. I was not prepared for this. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. There you go.
I like how
Nice.
I like how in the
Incredible.
YouTube chat that Jess is typing in, it's me because I'm logged into my Google account.
Yeah, you're also not a moderator on our channel.
Well, yeah, because usually I'm on the 70 chat account. Well,
Wow,
now
not a
myself and a
moderator.
moderator. Yeah, so there you go.
That's quite the demotion for you there to moderator there, Eric.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Also we have Marvin. Hey, what's up?
Hello, I'm Paleo. If you didn't know.
We're doing great. This is yeah.
I really thought about a segue for this show and tell, which I got but I couldn't think of anything. So there.
Okay.
Anyway, as Argent showed off on the Isha shortcast last time, he had received his like Monsters on the Underpants fancy art thing, and so did I. And oh god, the green screen kills it.
Oh, you got the Awakener?
Yeah, I got the Susan Brown.
Because it's supposed to be green highlighting and it's being cut out. That's really funny. That is
This was supposed to be like yellow shine stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we can tell that it's something.
Open mine
for
of
sure.
that.
It's
Now I
definitely-
forgot that there's art in it. Now I really want to open it.
Yeah.
Well, did you get one?
Well, we got the book. We didn't buy any art prints. I don't think.
That was a separate tier.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we
Those
bought
were-
art too.
Yeah, those were limited to 30-ish from 2019 and 30-ish from 2020, or 18 and 19. Time is weird.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. Also, we have Alex. Hey, what's up?
Hi. Sorry, I'm late. I was doing the other things. I just got back from the farmer's market and had to take a shower because it's really hot outside.
Ooh.
And that was a lot of walking. And
Yeah.
I got a little bit sunburned, which maybe wearing pink was not, the play here, but whatever.
Did you
It's fine.
get some
We didn't put
farmers
any makeup
market?
on because I don't want to heard it.
Yeah.
So I'm redder than usual. That's why.
Yeah, I think we went out to eat lunch and we were in the sun for an hour and I got sunburned. It's like literally, I got sunburned.
I was mostly standing in the shade, but even just like walking there and back, it'll do it.
Yep.
The UK has literally gone from like coat weather to this week has been shorts and t-shirts, and then next week we're back to coat weather. But like, I don't know if my tan is going to show. I do a little bit. You can see a little bit there. There you go.
So what is coat
32
weather
degrees Celsius
for you?
outside right now?
Oh God!
Overcast, 9-10 degrees. You know, wearing a light coat. That's
yeah,
like
okay.
I'm talking like
that's light coat. Fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's.
I have to translate what 10 degrees Celsius is into Fahrenheit.
Yeah, don't worry. I've gotten a lot of practice translating Celsius temperatures to Fahrenheit.
Okay, that is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you using American.
Using freedom units, I believe they're called.
Yes.
That's what the F is for.
I think when I introduced, I forgot to say who I was on the shard. Hi, I'm K Myth. Just in case anyone didn't know.
Yep. Welcome.
You normally put the accent on Myth because I'm just interested how everyone.
I do. Literally, nobody else ever does.
Yeah.
I know. I've always said Myth.
Yeah.
That has just been
Wild.
something that's haunted the entire 20 plus years I have used this internet handle.
Don't worry, it's not as bad as Joff's username.
Joff's a terrible attempt at a clever username.
Joff Woo, but apparently you don't pronounce it like that.
I mean, it wouldn't be a true Cosmere username if the pronunciation was not debatable.
That's true. That's true.
You gotta have questionable pronunciations on everything.
Yep. Oh, rip.
Yeah, Archon said he'll be back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't see that chat. So, how you doing, everyone? We've been busy. There's a lot of stuff to do.
We are here celebrating our 11th birthday of the 17th shard.
Yep. Our birthday is June 4th.
We've reached the preteen years.
Yep.
Does that mean we can be like terrible preteens now?
You're still
go
getting
through all the
rebellious.
different like adolescent phases. Yeah.
The shard is now a tween.
Yep. It's time to finally do my Kenton cosplay, and he's just an emo kid with like. Well, yeah,
Beautiful.
It's time for us
It's
to
like
With
boombox.
boombox.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get the boombox, Dad. I'm not gonna do that. That's what he sounds like. That's what he sounds like.
As I say, we should. This is when we open a TikTok as well, because that's all the rage with kids these days, and just nothing but Kelsia Fortnite dancing. That'll be all our TikToks.
Yeah. That's our next 5 YouTube thumbnails.
All right, I'm gonna restart this PC.
Yeah.
I updated
It does
Yeah.
appear to be having some issues.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, this is a highly professional getup here.
Well,
and-
all of you get your cool stuff out of the system because I'll be back in 5 minutes, and I will be the only one with cool stuff.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just amused
I think
that
that's
Jess
a bold claim.
Yeah. I'm just amused that Jess is on the same Wi-Fi downstairs. And yeah, it's just like, no, the Wi-Fi is just, it seems like Australian Wi-Fi. What? Maybe Wi-Fi just sucks.
Distance from the router can make a huge difference.
She's
Things in
closer to the
between.
router than I am. But I'm also, I'm wired, so.
Yeah, you might
Wired
just
mixed
want to
up.
wire down there if she's gonna keep using that, because wired is always more reliable.
That can be arranged. That's what we need, more cords. Yeah.
Just snake a super long Ethernet through the whole house.
No. You don't even need to do
basically
that.
what we get Ethernet here. The router is like back that away, and we kind of snuck it all the way around the room so that it's not across the carpet.
No, Jenna, you need to back our Patreon for me to close the tab.
Well,
Patreon.com/17 shard.
I can show off my show and tell, which some of the staff have already seen from the last time we were on a call. But I just got some new nail polishes. Let me see if I can make it focus.
Oh, that's very shiny.
Ooh.
See, maybe. Come on.
Ooh.
It's much better if it's not blurry, I promise. Hey. Camera. Dumb thing.
Focus.
There it goes.
There we go.
What she's not telling us is that she like harvested beetle wings and then just stuck them to her nails.
It's a unicorn skin, actually.
Oh.
So very fun.
I like the implication that you skinned a unicorn to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my favorite
100% ethically sourced unicorn. So yeah, this hollow taco, black polish, and the little flakies. So
don't skin my people.
Well, but yes, I'm enjoying them. They're very pretty.
Nice.
I'd say I have. I guess I could show and tell my Way of Kings leather-bound Kickstarter swag, but I think we have
Yeah, let's
other people
not
want
do that.
that.
Yeah, no,
Let's not do
let's
that.
not do that.
Plug.
Yeah,
Our own
Yes.
channel.
yeah.
Yeah.
There will be a video pretty soon showing off all the Kickstarter swag.
And it's all the Kickstarter
Love
swag.
it.
It is
Yeah.
all the Kickstarter swag, plus some more that's not even in the Kickstarter, namely that that double eye that's on top of that bookcase in Jess's frame.
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice.
Sneak previews.
Yeah, I
got-
guess this
I got
is
one of those
Maybe I
right
need to
back
like
here.
move it a bit more.
Yeah.
Like this is my show and tell because I literally can't reach anything from here. And then there's the wit coin as well on that end.
Yep.
How does point? I'm pointing at the cushion to make it look like I'm pointing at the wit coin.
Yeah.
This is not even the right direction, but I'm glad it's working on camera. But yeah, the coins are like super duper pretty, and they look really nice in the Dragonwood shop frame as well. And it's just nice to have a way to frame these things because so much of the Kickstarter swag, I don't know what to do with. Like it's really nice, but I'm like.
Yeah.
I don't know how to display this. I guess I'll put it in a box and.
For instance, like, they're way larger than I knew the measurements ahead of time, but they're still larger somehow than I expected. So
those coins are hefty. They're really hefty.
Yeah, they are
nicely
super
made
solid.
coins and not small.
No,
They're big boys.
They are challenge coins, right? They're just supposed to, well, not supposed to, but like you were doing the thing where you were pitting them and flipping them and.
Oh,
I
so
don't know
coin
any.
tricks.
Look at that. Look at that. That is a hefty coin.
Oh, that's a chunky boy.
This is chunky.
Yeah.
If I flip it and break my thumb. Ow! Yeah.
You know when they did the Mistborn coins, I was also very impressed by the heft of some of those.
Oh, the Shire Post.
The Shire
ones.
Post
Yeah,
coins, also really nice.
Yep.
It's really nice when you get these things and like they actually are obviously made well and they're not just gimmicky, because some swag that you get, like not necessarily Cosmere swag, but in general, it's like, I mean, this is nice, but it's clearly like pretty like easily manufactured. You're just trying to like push out a bunch of these instead of like looking quantity over quality type thing. So it's really nice to get these things with like, wow, someone has really put in the time to not only design these but make them well as well, which is just really nice.
It's like the difference between Brandon's Amazon store t-shirts and his own store's t-shirts.
Oh, so speaking of the Amazon store t-shirts, Eric got me 2 for Christmas a couple of years ago. One of them was the Cosmere one. It does not. I now have a plain blue t-shirt because literally all the stuff just came. Yeah, Josh had the same issue.
Really? That was the Threnody
My
shirt once.
Stormlight one's the same. It's just like I can't run my hand over it because the stuff just comes off. Like I'm kind of tempted just to kind of take it off because it gets to a point where it just looks really bad. Yeah. Like at least I can wear the shirt out now, whereas before I'm like, I don't even know if I want to wear this to the gym because it looks really bad with like flecks of things in places that make no sense. The Brandon store ones are really nice.
Yeah. I'm wearing the Rhythm of War release shirt.
Oh, nice.
Look at that singer. That singer is such a good design.
Yeah.
So I do like that one. Yeah. That is by the same artist who did the Alcatraz interior illustrations, by the way.
Ah, nice.
I need to keep reading Alcatraz. I need to get
good.
the rest of them.
Alcatraz is fun.
They're very funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
need to pick them up.
The only sad part about Alcatraz is that though it's been out for like a decade, our Alcatraz forum has so little posts. on the forum, which is not terribly surprising. But I am kind of curious why some of the Amazon shirts seem to be fine and other ones are just like off. I don't know.
And like the EU ones, for instance, also like all I have several from the German Amazon, and they're all fine so far at least. And I have them for at least 2 or 3 years, some of them by now, however long the store is open here in Germany. But yeah, I think it because they are print on demand actually. Like it's so it depends on which printer Amazon chooses for you or something like that probably.
Yeah, different manufacturers makes sense.
Yeah, the ones on Brandon's store is there. Yeah, also the person who says that's fuzzy. I mean, we're also screen capping a Discord call, so that's not exactly the best quality because Discord does what Discord wants. So.
Sometimes though, YouTube will just randomly make things look really blurry and sketchy just because it felt like it. I don't know.
Yeah, for your internet quality, it's on auto.
It fixes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
My auto
kind of
on YouTube
bemused at how my hair is fading because this was all the same color when I colored it.
Wait,
and
really?
Whoa! It looks like an ombre now, and I'm like, this is really cool. But the pink tones in this fade out faster than the blue tones. And so when it's all completely faded, I'm going to look like I have this really pale ice blue hair. And it's like, there's no way you can get that color on purpose. But I can do it on accident.
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. Did we do we have any questions from patrons, or did we not put
no, we didn't do any
a thing on there?
No, we didn't do any of that. We haven't done that for like the last 5 times.
Questions. What do you want to know?
Yes.
Well, say, Arjun, you said you had something for us. As long as it's not Way of King swag.
Yeah, you talked about having show and tell.
That's not what I said. I was insinuating that the amount of cool stuff that I own far exceeds the amount of cool stuff any of you own. And so
I'm still skeptical of this claim.
Yeah. I'm very skeptical of this claim.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is not the time for us to measure our cool stuffs.
Yeah, I mean,
you started it.
I mean, these tables are very cool. There's a reason why they're my background. Mm-hmm. They're very precious to me.
Arjun, they want to see the plant.
What?
They want to see the plant.
Your plant.
This one?
You have to introduce your plant.
Yeah.
What's its name?
And is it named Tervangian? Because Tervangian's a plant.
It's a plant that I hope dies, so I have a good reason to throw it away.
Wow.
It actually doesn't like.
I mean,
I think this thing is immortal.
You just need to put it in a very dark and close space.
Issues like keeping plants alive, whereas you just can't get it to die.
I water this thing like once a month.
How do I get them?
Oh, you need to water it never, then it'll die. And then you need to just put it in a dark thing, then it'll die.
Yeah, but like watering plants is a thing you do to plants, so like sometimes I do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Plant keeps surviving. Keep watering it.
I don't know if there's you guys can sort of see
the keeps it alive
in my window.
Yeah.
But and the kitty in the window too. But so I got this little app on my phone that it's supposed to tell you when your plants need to be watered and like how often you should water them and stuff. Except I set what the light is in this window, which is it's a north-facing window, so it doesn't get much direct sunlight. And like all of the herbs that I have there, the app is like not recommended for this level of light. I'm like, I know, I don't have any other windows. I'm so sorry, plants. I'm light starving you.
Yeah.
They get really tall and leggy looking for more sunlight. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, well. Okay, I like having fresh herbs.
Do you have a question?
Oh, boy.
Before we take,
we do have a question in the chat.
Yes.
Jake would like to know who likes the US Cytonic cover, who likes the UK one. What are people's thoughts?
I'm quite happy to go first on this. Definitely the UK cover. I have always preferred the UK covers for the the Cytoverse books. Just because I don't like how Spencer looks on the cover. She just doesn't look anything like what my mental image of Spencer is. So yeah, I far prefer the more stylized UK covers. Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I don't usually like the UK style of covers. I think they are too simplistic and too stylized for my taste. In this particular case, I'm also not a huge fan of the US ones, because Spencer just kind of looks like a bombshell. But I do like the US one better. Like the quality of the art is really high.
The US one or UK one?
US.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Like the painting itself is a well done painting.
Very skillful. Yeah.
I think the Cytonic one's probably my favorite of the three. Even though, as people have pointed out, like it's just Spencer on a nothing basically. But you know what? I like it. I think it looks nice.
No spoilers.
But whoa, yeah, I know. But
it's Spencer absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. But I do think the UK Skyward covers are really good, for sure. I'm not the biggest fan of overall the UK Cosmere ones, but yeah.
Like covers where like a character is like the main, like front and center. Even Oathbringer is pushing it a little bit for me, but like on the Skyward ones, it's like just Spencer like right there in your face, and I don't really care for that.
Yeah, I mean it's a very YA cover, right? It's like
here's
a teen girl.
Logical.
Yeah. And like Brian has explained that's the difference between the UK and US editions, that in the UK they are adult or marketed as adult.
Oh, okay.
So they do more adult covers, apparently.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I didn't even know that.
Unlike Mistborn, where it's just like in the US, it's like sometimes it's YA, sometimes it's other.
My God.
I don't know.
The UK Mistborn covers for Well of Ascension Hero of Ages are the worst ones, because Well of Ascension is just the Hero of Ages just zoomed in. Like they just it's the same picture, just zoomed in. It annoys me so much.
How long until the YA Mistborn covers start coming with a sticker as seen in Fortnite?
Oh my god.
Featuring that guy from Fortnite.
It's just like straight up Casey from Fortnite on the cover.
I don't think we could sell stickers that are just as seen in Fortnite, but like I think Epic would sue us, but it would be really funny if we sold stickers like that. And
it would be something for Bran to do, like when he vandalizes the books in bookstores, he always just pops on a sticker as seen in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went on Google Trends to see how things are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so I hate to say that, but like,
is the search of Kelsier quite high?
It is really high. Like even when I do the past 5, like let's do 2004 until present. This is still almost twice as big of a spike as any other Kelsier.
Yeah,
it's hard to complain about that.
Let's see.
Comes to spreading the fandom.
So Mistborn fares a little better. We have a spike in February 2016. I'm gonna guess Secret History came out that time.
Yes, that
sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, and bands.
And bands, yeah. So
Bands and Morning, Shadows of Self, Bands of Morning, and Secret History all right together.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
So that's the previous highest spike.
Well, that makes sense. It's the last book that released.
Yeah. And the current one is it's noticeably bigger, but it's not like it's maybe 1, 2, 3. It's maybe 20% bigger, like 30% bigger, something like that. So it's a little better.
Interesting.
JD in the chat says, how does Thydakar trend?
Let's
Oh yeah, Rhythm of War spoilers for this podcast.
Yeah. There will probably be questions.
Full spoilers.
Yeah. Someone asked in chat about these. These you cannot actually get on Brandon's store anymore because these are the fancy art prints, which were limited. And the thing that I'm very pleased about with these two is that these are both the number one ones. The number one Elementic one and the number one Fair Chemical one. And whenever the Hemalurgic one comes out, I'm getting number one of that too. I don't care if I gotta spike people to do it. I will. Worth it.
So the Thydakar trends, by the way. So looking at the past 5 years, so
I'm loving the smile on your face.
Imagine a graph, okay, and the graph is a flat 0 for most of it. And then we have a tiny blip. So like, if the graph goes from 0 to 100, we have a blip of 15 in 2017, September 2017, which sounds like Oathbringer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another blip of 15 in June of 2019, which...
That's maybe a reading from the prologue? Did they mention that?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
June 2019.
Maybe the San Diego Comic-Con thing that Brandon did, like the live where he was answering questions?
Maybe?
I guess. I don't remember.
That was in the summer. So we have another couple of blips of like 13 and 12 and whatever near the end of 2020. And then there's a spike that is like 80 in December of 2020.
I can't imagine why.
If you look at the comparison with Kelsier, it's also just like Thydakar goes up, Kelsier goes up, like at the same time. So.
Yep.
And so now it's sitting at a pretty steady like 15-ish.
Yeah.
I think wasn't December our interview with Brandon?
Yeah. Or did it come out January?
Early January.
It was early January.
Yeah, it was when it came out.
It was early January. But I mean, that's just general Rhythm of War stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, actually.
You know, Rhythm of War is a big book, so it makes sense that there's a bit of lag time. This isn't Fortnite where the skin goes away in a week. Books like actually continue to still exist, and big books, you know, take a while.
Absolutely. We've got some other questions. I did see some come in, and I've lost them. Oh yeah, we've just got a. Does anyone have any fun or upbeat fantasy recommendations?
Fun or upbeat?
I mean,
I read something recently.
Oh my god, the name has fled me.
Hold on, I have to look at my Goodreads.
Discworld, a fun adult fantasy is you can't get more fun than the Discworld books.
It's very true.
They're a bit wacky though, so it does depend on what you enjoy reading. Like I have trouble with the Discworld books, mostly because they're really not my style, but like I know they are very good.
I've got a good recommendation. I wouldn't describe it as upbeat necessarily, but I started reading the Lady Trent series. The first book is A Natural History of Dragons. If you look it up, it's this gorgeous artwork of a dragon on the front cover.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I don't know if I would describe it as upbeat, but it's definitely a pretty positive tone for a book. It's basically this lady who becomes she's researching dragons. You can look up the synopsis, but it was really good. I've enjoyed it a lot.
I love the question in chat. How British is Discworld? Can you catch the humor if you aren't British?
It is extremely British, extremely so. But I think you can.
I am not British, and I caught most of the.
I do just fine. But then I've also watched Doctor Who since I was
You're basically
very
British.
small.
You're basically
so,
British at that stage.
Sarah, which author is going to be a Jordan Con?
That's Marie Brennan.
Oh,
yeah, that's the
Lady
reason
Trent
I picked
series?
up
Nice.
Natural History of Dragons. Is
Okay,
read it.
well, I got some cramming to do.
Yeah.
yeah, which for those of you who aren't aware, there's going to be a 17th Shard Staff invasion of JordanCon this
That's
year.
true.
Starch.
That's true.
Yeah,
I can't talk.
It will be our first Jordan Con.
we will take over.
Yes.
I mean, I've been going ever since I found out about it, but
Yep.
no, I've been.
Rosemary, do you want to take
Slowly
the what is JordanCon question?
Oh, so
Okay. You take
JordanCon.
that. I'll grab
I'll
a
see you in
drink.
a half hour.
JordanCon is a literary sci-fi fantasy convention named in honor of Robert Jordan. It does have a pretty heavy Wheel of Time fandom circling about it, which makes sense. It also has a dedicated track for Brandon Sanderson, and Brandon shows up whenever he can make it work, which these days is about every 3 years, and he will be there this year. Unfortunately, memberships are already sold out. There may be more that open up later on. They're looking at CDC guidelines to decide whether they can open up more.
Interesting.
But I love this con. This is my favorite con. And this is coming from someone who helps run a different con here in Kansas City. But JordanCon is my play con. And the other thing I'm going to plug about JordanCon is that they started an anthology. And my very first published short story is going to be in this year's anthology. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, excellent.
Yay.
Exciting.
Yep. It will be Jess and I's first Jordan Con, so we'll be traveling a bit.
I will
I'm hoping
also
to
add.
come someday soon, but I will not be there this year.
I will also add that in addition to obviously the Wheel of Time fandom, for which this is kind of the con, and the Cosmere fandom, for which this is kind of the only con, really.
Yeah.
As close as we have to our own con.
Whenever someone asks Brandon about doing a Cosmere con, he tells them just go to JordanCon.
Yeah. The Dresden Gang also has a very strong presence in there.
Nice.
Yeah, there's always Dresden Files cosplayers. I know most of them.
Yep.
Nice.
I do want to. I know I've showed this book on the stream before, but while we're recommending books, the Daevabad trilogy.
Ooh.
Go read. This is the first one, City of Brass. I am rereading because I found out the third one is out. I thought it was coming out this summer. It came out last summer, and I'm very silly. So yeah, I'm rereading, and they're so good. It's so good to be back in this book. The world building is just so thick and rich. If you are a big fan of world building, you will love these books.
Nice.
I am adding it to my to be read list right now because I always forget to add these things. And I'm like, what are the things that people recommended me? I can't remember. I also have some recommendations.
It's fantasy in our world, like Arabian mythology.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about this.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's very, very, very good.
So a couple of things that I read this year that I don't know if people would class these as fantasy necessarily, but they were pretty fun. The first one is The Guinevere Deception, which is about King Arthur, Camelot. The main character pretends to be Guinevere and infiltrates, and she's part of the Fae, so has to deal with the whole no magic in Camelot thing. But it's really fun. I haven't read like the next book yet, but like it was really easy to read. Like it was light. It was just refreshing after having some like heavier books beforehand. So that was a really nice palate cleanser. And then the other one is a pirate book that's called Over Raging Tides. And I loved it. I was just in the mood for like a pirate book. And I found this one, and it's about this ship of female pirates. And there's this mystery with a backstory that ties into a man that they rescue, and they have all of these different rules on like who can be on the ship, and like they can't have men on the ship. But they have this whole adventure with him, and I can't wait to read the second one because I got this on Audible, and I'm not much of an audiobook reader. And I got through this. I was like, no, I want to like physically read the second one because I love this so much. But that was also just really fun. It's quite short, like, yeah, fun, light, good pirate read. I must say, and the covers are awesome. That is what made me choose it, because I am definitely the person who judges a book by its cover, and that's how I choose books.
Oh, I do love that cover. That is really cute. I really like that.
It's really, really pretty. And the second one is also a similar style, so I always like when they do that.
Yeah. It's like, never underestimate the power of a good cover. I mean, I definitely picked up City of Brass because the cover was gorgeous. And it was what I was expecting. The thing is, like, if you read the back cover of this, it seems like it's going to be very basic YA, sort of like fantasy love triangle shenanigans. And I was expecting it to sort of be like very, I was like, this is just going to be a fun, quick, sort of low skill sort of a read. No, it's beautiful and gorgeous and way deeper than I was expecting.
That cover of City of Brass has one of Jess's favorite things on it. Favorite. It's got
fire.
The cover.
Foiling.
Oh, no. The edge is cut. I can't actually see it in the video.
Oh yeah, it is a cut edge.
The edge being cut.
Yeah.
That is a crime.
About this online. Yes, it's a crime. You're ruining a perfectly good book.
Yeah,
I should go get. I have the second one. Let me grab that so we can show that one off too. It's also pretty.
Yeah. I realized that I actually have a third recommendation. This one is actually probably like younger readers, not quite a children's book, but it's just gorgeous, and like the writing in it is really nice. It's called The Grandest Bookshop in the World, and it's actually set in Australia in the 60s, I think. But there's a father who owns this magic bookshop, and he makes a deal with like a bad man, and then the children have to save the bookshop and do all of these trials. And you don't want to think too hard about it, because then it's like, it doesn't make that much sense why like the evil magic man's like, yeah, I'm going to like have fun games with children, and if they win, they get to keep this bookshop. But if you don't think about it too hard, it's just delightful. It has taken me a very long time to get through it, but I think that's because like I only really want to read it when I'm in the mood for like needing something light and fluffy, and where you know that like things are going to be fine in the end. And there's some really nice like character dynamics between the kids as well, like from where they start off to where they end, because they ask, one of them's a teenager and one of them's 8 years old, I think, are the two main children. There's a couple of other ones, but they're not as prominent in the book. And it's lovely. And I picked that up as well because it's like a hardback cover with like this rainbow around a window that like shows like inside the bookshop, and it's just gorgeous. So I picked that up from the cover as well, and I'm just really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. I will show. This is the hardcover for Kingdom of Copper.
Ooh, that is
also very,
nice.
Very lovely.
Pretty.
The third one is Empire of Gold. I don't have it yet, but soon.
Nice.
I like the consistent naming scheme of titles.
Yes.
I dig that as well.
Yep. Very nice.
That is always nice.
Do you guys want to hear about a terribly titled book series?
Oh
yes.
No.
Always.
I did really like this series. I did have some issues with the last book, but like the titles for these make sense and well, but are just terrible if you're looking at them on a shelf. Where are they?
Some issues with the last book. Just a few.
Just a few. The second and third books were like gorgeous, and I loved them. But like the first and last one were a bit iffy. But the first one is called 3 Dark Crowns. And then the second one is called One Dark Throne. The third one is called Two Dark Reigns.
Oh no.
And then the fourth one is called Five Dark Fates.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Why?
Like, that is so trippy. Like, it makes sense reading the books, but it's like you didn't have to do this.
None of the numbers match at all, ever.
So I found 3 of them in a secondhand shop, which is why I bought them, because the first one sounded pretty cool. But I was so confused about which one I was missing.
So you weren't missing any of them.
I'm Googling it, and it's like, there's 3 other books. I'm like, what do you mean there's 3 other books? And it's like, there's some short story prequels, but they must have been released individually and then put together in the anthology. So all of these lists I'm finding are like, here's the first, second, third book, and then we're going to have one called Queens of Fenburn, and then we're going to have 5 Dark Fates. I'm like, the numbers screw me up enough, but the fact that you then put a different title structure in the middle?
No,
but it's a prequel series, so it's fine. It's all fine. My blood pressure isn't rising anymore.
The craft sequence by Max Gladstone does that same thing. The first one is 3 parts dead. The second one is 2 Serpents Rise, but then the third one is Full Fathom 5. The fourth one is Last First Snow, and then the fifth one is 4 Roads Cross. But it gets 1 level deeper because the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the title, that's actually the chronological order.
See, I like that. Actually, like, you don't need to read them in that order.
Makes sense, yeah.
Like, at least there's a logic to it. And I did really like 2 Serpents Rise. That one was really good.
And I don't remember much of like a continuity between the books in publication. So, like, for example, if you read 3 Parts Dead, which is the first book in the sequence, and then you read 2 Serpents Rise, which is the second one, but then chronologically 2 Serpents Rise comes before 3 Parts Dead. Like, I don't think either direction has information that is required for your enjoyment.
Yeah,
like,
it's set in different locations, so it totally works.
What is the reading order for this series? Because I'm now very confused if you're meant to read it in publication order or like...
It's publication order is the way of reading it, because even though some of them are chronologically, there's things you find, like, they'd spoil each other if you read them in chronological order. So publication order is the way to read it. They're built that way.
It's like, I don't know if anyone's read the Ranger's Apprentice series, but the first 6 books are like kind of in order, and then the 7th book is back before books 5 and 6 in world, and it always made no sense to me. He should have just done book 7 as book 5 and like continued it on in world order instead of switching it up like this. Like, there really was nothing in that 7th book that like was a spoiler at all for the books that are set later in the character's life. It's always annoyed me so much because I don't like reading things out of publication order. So, yeah.
Lots of people saying loving Ranger's Apprentice in chat. Tons of people saying.
I do want to tackle a question that I've seen a couple of times in chat. And it is about our favorite Shardcast episode.
Oh yes. I've seen Cheyenne's asked that a few times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will throw out, Edward is right that Narnia should be read in publication order, not chronological. And there's various Narnia sets that put The Magician's Nephew first. It's wrong. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the first book.
Also, that is not a good start to any series doing The Magician's Nephew.
The Magician's Nephew is not that good.
No,
it's been a while since I read Narnia. TBH.
It's not very good.
It was just very hard to get through.
Oh my god. So, favorite Shardcast episode? I mean, the one that I've listened to probably the most was Cosmere Beefs, which, like, if you have not seen Cosmere Beefs, like, that is a quality, hilarious one. I'm so sad it's not on video, but we'll need to do...
we'll have to revisit it.
We'll have to do another Cosmere Beefs, because I go on a 10-minute Zane rant, Alex goes on a Kelsier rant. We have a rant on Wayne. There's just a lot of ranting, and it is just so funny. Really, that one is one of my favorites to listen to. What about other people's favorite Shardcasts?
The one that I always go to in my head is the one, and I can never remember what it was. I think it was Emerald City Comic Con one.
Yep.
Where it was just me and you, Eric, and then
our only
we finished recording.
Shardcast.
Our only ever 2-person Shardcast. And we finished recording, and then Brandon started replying to us on Reddit,
and then we just had to do 45 more minutes. Just like what?
We just added it onto the end because we were like, what? Because it was all to do with like avatars and like the nature of shards in Trell, and so we were like, no, we need to record this right now because he's replying to us now.
We did. Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah. That one is it. I'm trying to think of which one. I think the hardest I've laughed is I think it was the first Ship It or Rip It. I remember listening to that on a plane and just having to not like hold back my laughter because I was just like crackling, like cracking up so much.
Where we shipped
definitely being on the train and just like dying from laughter, and it's like peak hour. Everyone around me is like, "This girl is crazy. What is she giggling at?"
Ashert Marn Nightblood, was that in that one?
Yes, that was the Ashert Marn Nightblood. Oh, was it Nightblood and wasn't it Yellow Gnar?
We also shipped Ashert Marn with Renarin at one point.
Yeah, I like that our Ship It or Rip It list has random unmade in there. It makes it excellent.
No, I remember the it was Yellow Gnar and Nightblood because I remember the joke that it's the unmade that likes to be eaten and the sword that likes to eat things, and like
oh yeah,
that was great. I really also liked with the Rhythm of War reactions when Alex did a little outtake of all the times we say that'll be a podcast. That was still really funny.
So funny. I like the outtakes. They're really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Support us on Patreon for outtakes.
Someone mentioned the Moash episode. And I think of the more recent Shardcasts that we've done, that was one that I was really excited to see what people were going to say about it, because I felt like it was maybe a topic that people had not put a lot of thought into for a lot of people. They're just like, yeah, Moash bad. What else is there to say? And it was really cool to sort of like dig into all the different nooks and crannies of his character and the sort of potential that he has. I think that one turned out really well.
I thought that one turned out really well as well. The comments were very good, except for a few that were just like, okay, hide from channel permanently. Like, bye.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. Someone in chat saying
episodes like that, like let us find out who the assholes are.
That's
and
true.
Then we can deal with them.
That's true. It's like okay. Someone is saying in chat that the editing on the last WoB episode, that's your stuff, Ben, was really good.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, that was you. It was so weird editing a podcast again, because Alex edited 2, and then you edited the other one. So, like, I hadn't edited for like a month and a half at all. I'm like, oh, I have to do this again? Oh, man. Yes, Daniel's mentioning he liked my top 10 Rhythm of War things. Thank you. There will be more solo videos. I'm really busy during the semester, like real busy. So yeah, I haven't done that, but we'll work on that. And there will be a video Tuesday.
I'm hoping to get more editing in as well. Shorter videos allows more editing fun.
You just can't do much with a 3-hour Ishar episode. It's like, all right, I got crap to do.
That whole comic that I did of you guys talking about Homeless Sergeant, I literally I'd been editing for like 2 days straight, and I was just like, I don't want to edit tonight, but I got sat down and I was like, I cannot be bothered to edit like another hour of footage. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm taking the night off and just doing something silly, and so that's basically came from that.
Oh, we do got to do more Cosmere ads. That's true. Ian's not here to say no.
I agree that Odium's was
Odium.
really great.
Yeah. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody did artwork for it.
Yes.
It was incredible.
That was Heatherly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I remember that episode, Jess, because I was telling you, it's just like, oh, that was such a pain to edit that Teravangian one. And I was just like,
was like not in the mood to edit that. And he got to the joke and he's like, I just want to cut the joke because I'm so annoyed and like, I don't want to do this right now. I was like, no, Eric, people will like the joke.
Everyone really liked the episode.
Jokes are good.
It was good. Weekly giant 2 to 3 hour podcasts are kind of a lot, just to do. Like, they're a lot. I'm like, look at other podcasts. I'm like, wow, a 50-minute episode. You think that's long? Wow, that must be nice. That must be nice. Or 30 minutes? Like, wow, incredible. I
am fond of the Oathbringer retrospective episode.
That was a good episode.
Oh, yes.
That one just flowed really well. And I liked it.
Oh, I liked the making fun of old Cosmere theories. That one was really funny. I think people really liked that one.
Talking about editing, I think I told people in the patron chat that I have a gamer keyboard because sometimes I play video games. And I set one of my macro keys to do like delete this clip and then add all of the transitions that I need. And so now I have a gamer macro for editing Shardcast. So
I mean, that sounds incredible. And I would very much like to figure out how to do that whenever Eric teaches me how to edit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very
that
helpful.
Will be soon. We need more Adobe licenses, so that's what we'll be doing. Yeah, and we have I think it's gonna turn out to be really nice next week. What we're recording won't come out next week, but it'll come out the week after. But hopefully we will have some solo videos coming this summer. There's several that I've wanted to do for a while. Maybe you'll finally get an Intent Command video that Dawnshard completely ruined.
Ambitious.
We use Premiere Pro. Yeah, that's. No. It's not where all the patron money is going to. There's a lot of things we spend patron money on.
So we're trying to be frugal, so we're all bumming off the same Adobe license and just kicking each other.
Don't tell Adobe. Shh.
I mean, of course, we all have a fully separate. Yeah.
Yeah, like two-factor authentication's great, but if multiple people are bumming off the same Adobe account, it's really
the truth is, they all fly to the same location where there's a single computer with that single license.
Yep.
And then the person who needs to edit just uses that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we've done that all through COVID, actually. That's what
we disinfect it like really well.
Yeah.
We just edit from quarantining in different countries between the UK and the US.
Although I will say, if having multiple people edit the same thing is just the worst. Like, it just doesn't work to like move a Premiere project. They're not portable in any way. No. It's like, it's on this computer and that's what we're doing. I don't know what the pros do, but
there is a way to do it, because I've had to do it at work a couple of times where like my coworker would have a video that her machine was not powerful enough to export, and so she would send me the Premiere file. You have to do it basically makes a package of your file and all of the clips that it's pulling from, because they're all in different folders, and it will pull them all into one folder, and you can turn that into a zip file and send it to someone. But it's big and it takes a while to do.
It didn't even work when we tried it, Alex, because you were having rendering issues on it was the Kelsier episode, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, and we tried to send the package and it wouldn't work.
I think you rendered it like 6 times.
I remember that.
I just remembered I was watching a video where a guy it was an internet historian video, and he did like a behind the scenes where he was like, oh yeah, we couldn't actually publish the video, so what we had to do is we screen recorded the screen and just took the preview and then the video. So he didn't actually render the video, he just screen captured that. And I'm like, when he said that, I was like, oh my god,
I love it.
You were thinking you needed to do that on a video before.
There there is times where I've had to do something like that. Yes, no, I 100% used to have to do that for. I can't remember which laptop it was on. Yeah, I think it was early Overlady videos. Because my phone, the first 2 episodes were done on my phone, which was in a really weird format. And when I tried to export it to a different format, it would never work. So I just played the video on my screen and just screen captured the video playing on my screen. And that's how I had to transfer it to a new format that could actually be used in Premiere Pro.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's will, there's way. But
exactly.
For our video on Tuesday, I apologize in advance for the frame drops. Turns out my laptop not powerful enough to encode 1080p video. Who would have thought?
Ooh.
My 2016 laptop wasn't powerful enough to do that. Yeah, that's what a surprise.
I know the that episode that I had so much trouble with was the moment where we were like, I need a desktop computer. Let's get a desktop computer that can render videos.
Is that Kelsey? I don't even remember. I don't even remember when things are anymore.
You mean Alex edit the Kelsey podcast?
Yeah. I think so.
I think it was, because...
I just cut out all of the times when anybody said Kelsier was good so that we would have a correct propaganda message going out.
Yes, all that propaganda we do. Yep. Yeah, but there's a lot of podcasts to record in the near future. Eventually, maybe some Era 2 podcasts pretty soon. But and by pretty soon, we mean this year.
Like September.
Yeah.
And then we've recorded, me and Lucy have recorded one video that I'm going to be editing. Will be coming out probably something this month. We've got our next video is proper in the planning stages. And then we've got another video, which is going to be like the biggest project we've done so far. And it's going to get real dumb real quick. And I'm very excited for it.
I don't even remember what this was.
I have no idea what we're talking about either. I should go read our planning channel.
No, honest to God, this is not something I think I've even told any of you guys about, but it is
nice.
It is real dumb.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, I will say one of our new Patreon goals, I think we'll get the new stuff out this week. We'll have a $750 goal to buy nice microphones, nice cameras for people. So people who want to do solo videos can do that, because let me just say, doing a webcam and doing that in full screen does not look super great. It's fine. Like, I thought the Mad Prince one, Ben, turned out fine for being recorded on a webcam. Like, I thought it looked pretty good.
The low point for me has been Wines of Rorschach. As much as I love that video and it was so much fun, video quality, it does not look anywhere close to how I'd want a video like that to look. So that's kind of what really pushed me to want to get new equipment.
Yeah, well, you'll just have to reshoot it all. We'll do it again. We'll just unlist the other one. It'll just be this time same video but better quality.
Same video but better quality.
All the original views.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 questions. One of them is a Shardcasty question, but another one is a fun question. The fun question is Kartik would like to know the origins or stories behind our usernames.
Oh.
I can open this up because I've answered this question several times, and the answer is easily searchable in Discord. If you just search for the phrase Scarlet Argent. But when I was coming up with my current name, I was playing World of Warcraft a lot, and I've always been a paladin junkie. And so I combined the names of 2 of the paladin factions in there, the Argent Dawn and the Scarlet Crusade, and so Scarlet Argent. And over time, I just dropped the Scarlet part of it.
When I was in high school, I was really into Twilight and Maximum Ride at the same time. There's only 3 books in the Maximum Ride series. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying. They never published anymore. And that's my thoughts.
Fang isn't a real book?
No. Nothing after the 3rd one exists. But as a fun, weird thing with one of my friends, we started a blog that was about the Maximum Ride characters and the Twilight characters talking to each other. Because that's the sort of thing that you do when you're a middle school girl and you really like those kinds of books. And that was the first place that I ever had the handle Feather Rider, which was just, I thought it sounded cool. And I always liked, Maximum Ride, liked the idea of like people with wings, feathers are cool, birds are cool. I thought it was like a cool thing of like quills, people use feathers to write. Sure, why not? It sounds nice. There we go. And now most of the time I'm just Feather these days. But Feather Rider whenever you actually need a unique username. So, ta-da!
I don't know if you are keeping an eye on this, Feather, but the PlayStation Store has been putting up Horizon goods there, like merch. And one of the things they added less than a week ago was a feather t-shirt, which is just like a single feather going down vertically on the shirt. And it's like something about Aloy's spear.
I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I love like the aesthetic of feathers and stuff like that. It's wonderful.
That's good.
Yep. I actually have some like wall hanging feathers that used to be over my bed when it faced this way, but now it faces this way. I should maybe move them to that wall so you guys can see them on stream. But feathers.
I don't think my username has a clever story because I honestly don't remember how I got it. So there's my story. I picked it when I was like 12 or 13. So there you go.
Emerged from the chaos, you would say. Perhaps.
You can tell people that
it's of your tabs.
It's not actually chaos, it's Cha OS.
Yes. Cha cha cha. Cha cha cha.
It's an operating system that runs on the cha-cha dance.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Amazing.
I can continue.
You should set that as your Discord status, Eric.
I could do that. Remind me to do that. I will. Yeah, Joff?
I can continue the theme of decisions that were made a long time ago. So my name is Joshua. I had a friend in like early elementary school who could not pronounce my name. It came out as Joshua. And in like sixth grade, whenever I was making an AOL Instant Messenger screen name, decided that would be a cool screen name and that it should be spelled the way it is. I was wrong, apparently, but it stuck, so that's where I'm at.
Have you run into any other Jafwas or Jofwus? Like, is this name pretty unique to you?
I've never seen it anywhere else. I've never had any trouble using it.
Yeah, Rosemary?
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, I know. For me, so mine dates back. I think I first started using it in 2000, which, I mean, y'all already know I'm old, so. But, and yeah, I had always been a big Dragon Riders of Pern fan because that was my series that broke me into sci-fi and fantasy, really on the fantasy side, even though it's technically sci-fi, because I was already a Doctor Who and Trek fan thanks to parents, but that was my gateway into the fantasy side of things. But I needed like a email name, and I didn't want to use my name because that was boring, and I was in my early 20s, so I made something up like you do, and I just, it had to have a TH on the end because that is the dragon naming pattern for all dragons end in TH, and the rest of it's just syllables that I slap together.
Nice.
And I just use it everywhere, and for the longest time I was the only K-myth on the internet anywhere. Nice. until I joined Twitter. And it's some random person who's probably a bot who just probably threw random letters together. And I'm like, well, fine. I guess I'll just be Rusting Unicorn then.
That's a good name. I like that.
Yeah. It kind of goes with my current online brand with the whole unicorn thing. And
that's true.
Being a Sanderson fan. That damn Rusting Unicorn.
I like it. Jess?
So I've gone through several usernames over the years, and my current one, which I do not plan to change until I die now, came from... I was in early uni, so I think I was like 20 or something, and I wanted something different because I was playing Minecraft, and I was like, yeah, I don't particularly like my old username. I'd like to dissociate from it a bit. And I was talking to my partner at the time, and we had been like dealing with some people in the Minecraft chat who were being a bit shitty and kind of along the lines of like, oh, you're doing this thing that you like. That's lame. It's lame to like these things. Oh, you like sci-fi and fantasy? Wow, you're so lame. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can actually fully swear on this.
No, you can't.
I almost did. Sorry about that. So I wanted to like kind of do that, embracing the thing that people think is an insult, and like saying like, well, if liking fantasy or sci-fi makes me lame, then that's not actually my problem. And that's where Lady Lameness came from. And I also had the thing where nowhere else seemed to have a Lady Lameness. And then there was Reddit. Of course it was Reddit. The thing was, I didn't know if I had made a Reddit account like ages ago, because I just have accounts for things that I don't use. And then I was trying to do something for a Brandon thing, and I'm trying to log in, and I'm like, I must already have an account. I spent 20 minutes trying to break into someone else's account.
Oh no.
And it took me that long to think, hey, what if I click on the account to see what's on it? And it was very clearly someone else's account from like 2-3 years ago as well. Like, this wasn't a recent thing. But everywhere else, like Lady Lameness has always been free, and I can use that. Like I do shorten it to Lady L sometimes, but because I know that it can make other people uncomfortable a bit to be like, is this like an insult or this kind of weird to call you this? I'm like, no, that's the point. Like, I'm comfortable with it, and I guess like if other people aren't comfortable with it, like there's nothing actually wrong with it, but that seems like they need to work through the issues there. So that's where my username came from.
Excellent. I shall go next. I would like everyone to cast their mind back to the February the 20th of the year 2000. And the airing of the 15th episode of season 11 of The Simpsons, named Missionary Impossible, where Homer Simpson, the father of the Simpson family,
we know what The Simpsons is.
Incorrectly refers to Jesus as Jeebus, and that is where I got the name from. And I just decided that was really funny, so I was Jeebus.
It is pretty funny.
And yeah, I don't know where the Overlord. What's that?
How old were you at this time?
I would have been 9. And I've been on the internet for a while.
To do.
Well, I remember specifically because it was my name on Xbox when I'd be playing Halo 2 on my Xbox. I signed up as Jeebus, and so that is the first time I used it. And then I have no idea where Overlord came from. I honestly have no clue where when I started referring to myself as Overlord instead of just Jeebus. So yeah.
There might have been a Discord thing, because people tend to drop the second half of a name if it's easier to do, I've found.
Yeah.
Because then they don't have to type it all out, right?
I know for a while I went by OJ for a while, but then that kind of people are uncomfortable calling me OJ for some reason. I don't know why.
Hey, OJ.
Yeah, so for me, Paleo came from... I used to be into Minecraft modding and decided to make a paleontology Minecraft mod. And then I had some issue and I had to register or create or go onto IRC to get help. And naturally, my mod was the project was called Paleocraft because that's what you do when you create a Minecraft mod.
Yep.
And so I needed a nick for IRC, and as creative as I am, I just slept on. Made it crafter, so Paleocrafter. And yeah, that's how I got Paleocrafter. And then eventually, like, nobody called me the full Paleocrafter ever, like only when they wanted to ping me. So I eventually just chopped off the crafter, and that's where I'm at. But I'm still, like, on some platforms, I'm still Paleocrafter because Paleo is not that uncommon. I unfortunately don't have that luxury. So yeah.
Yeah, there's someone on Twitter
all the time.
Yeah, someone on Twitter who made their account in 2009, never posted anything, never followed anyone, and they are Feather Rider, all one word. And I'm like,
yeah,
no. My Twitter has a dash.
It's the same situation with the person who's K-Myth on Twitter. They don't follow anyone. They've never posted. They're just there. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Oh, weirdly, fun story about that. I wanted to see if the email address argent@gmail.com was available.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be, but like you have to try. And so it turns out you can't actually register that email address.
What?
Ooh.
Why?
It is the name is against Google's rules.
Huh. All right.
Interesting.
Why? That's weird.
Maybe because it's like French, argent, money, and so like something like that. You can't do that.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I think
they
Google
don't.
just
They
hates
don't let you
specifically.
Yeah. Did you make any enemies at Google? Like,
I mean, Google hates everybody and is the most chaotic thing in the world that just tries to screw up everyone's lives all the time. I don't like Google very much.
That's fair.
I think the other question. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was reminded of like somebody took a screenshot of, I think it was Baldur's Gate 3, and it won't let you name your character Todd Howard. It like treats it like it's on the swear list. It's like, we don't use such inappropriate words in this realm. It's like,
funny.
wow, Todd Howard is a slur in the Skyrim, in the D&D universe. Wow.
That's pretty funny. I think the other
Is there
question.
a reason behind that, or is it just a question mark?
I assume they just don't want people memeing on their CEO because he's already such a meme.
Oh, okay. CEO. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yep.
There's lots of Todd Howard memes out there.
Oh my god.
Yes. The other
I didn't know who he was.
Other question in chat was, how much research do we do for a Shardcast episode? And that
I'm glad that you remembered that because I forgot it.
Yeah, no, I remember. It really depends. For Ishar, there was not a lot of prep. I don't really do a lot of outlining, but I grabbed quotes, and that's all we needed. Honestly, most of the research we do, we just need like a vague order and like quotes to refer to, so we don't have to constantly be searching for it. Oh, rip Ben. So so we didn't do much on that. The Bide and Mishram one, I did a lot of research for, but I wrote the Coppermine article for it, so that was really easy for me to do. So it's like, I know what every chapter it's all in, because I already did that.
It was kind of the same boat with the Lights episode.
Yeah.
Because I had already done all the work of digging all the little references for the wiki page, and so the outline was changing the format of the wiki page to a doc.
Oh, I can't wait for the future Shalon episode. That'll be really fun.
You guys have fun with that.
Long delayed, because like we have to outline this like a lot.
Yep.
And something like the Nowhere predictions cast, there was like a real big range of how much people did to prepare, because I think, Eric, I don't think you read anything in the end.
No, I read part 1 of Starsight because I was like, I can read all of Starsight the evening before we record. Not a good idea, by the way. I often do this.
This is a common occurrence.
Oh yeah, like every White Sand episode, I am literally finishing it like an hour before we're going on to the show. Like that happened with all 3 of them.
It's real short.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was someone, if I remember correctly, who was just kind of going off like old Starside Skyward knowledge to do it, and then like people have read bits and pieces, and then there was me who went and read the whole like the Starside book because I couldn't remember what happened.
Hey Ian, welcome.
Hi. Ian, hello.
You were just in time for a question I wanted to field.
Yeah, the missed one,
which was about the Shardcast episode. The future Shardcast episode we are most excited about.
I have an answer, but I don't want to say what it is.
Are we allowed to spoil our
surprise?
Yeah, that's a pretty clever question there, trying to get us to give them a sneak peek.
Okay. Well, so you would think it's a clever question, but it also presumes that we like plan.
We have a list of ideas, but they're just like one line, like let's do this topic sometime.
Yeah. Okay, I will say, I know we have some interesting episodes that we don't want to spoil ahead of time.
Yeah.
Unless you're giving us money for it.
Yeah. In which case we will tell you. Actually, that something like that will be a patron reward. Actually,
one episode that I am actually really, I guess I don't know what the episode is going to be exactly. But something about the still unresolved Era 2 mysteries.
Ooh, yes.
Is an episode we were going to do at some point in the future, kind of leading into the Lost Metal.
Yeah.
I recently reread Era 2, and there's more mystery there than I remember.
There's a lot.
Yep. Yeah, I finished Bands this morning. It's like Bands is the second best Cosmere novel.
Behind, of course, Rhythm of War.
Behind, of course, Rhythm of War. That goes without saying.
Because Navani.
Because Navani. And the sibling.
My beloved.
And Urithiru. Like, all those things are perfect.
All the things that you want.
I've just started Shatters, and I just want to read them, but I also want to play video games.
Yeah.
My life is really hard.
Pretty good. Yeah, what am I most excited about? See, the thing is that, like, Shardcasts work, you know, in a way. Like, I enjoy it, but also, like, editing's work. So I never quite know how good they're gonna be until we actually record them. Like, I know Ishar turned out really well, and, like, usually we can tell. See, you guys get the edited version with all the blank space cut out, but like the Teravangian episode, I remember like there was just a lot of blank pausing, which was just like the Endowment episode, because we just like didn't really know like a lot of packs. It was just like, wow, that's crazy, right? It's like, yes, it is crazy. It's like, wow, it's very exciting. But like editing it makes it sound a lot better. Yeah, right, exactly. So in the future, I don't know. I am pretty excited to do some Era 2 stuff, because I know we've procrastinated on a Medallions episode for like since 2017, where we're like, Shardcast topics. Oh, Medallions. It's like, yeah, we got to reread Bands for that. Like, we really need to do
that's one that's going to need some research.
I think the Medallions episode went through. So initially it was, okay, no, we have like Stormlight things to do. And then it was, okay, we need to do work to like we need to do our homework to do this episode.
Yeah.
And now we're in a stage where, well, if we wait just a little bit longer, this episode is going to fit really nicely into the lead up to the Lost Metal.
And we'll have done the work, because we're all rereading Era 2 at the moment.
The things that are most procrastinated on Shardcast are the things where we absolutely need to all reread the books to know what the hell we're talking about. Those are the most delayed.
Yeah, that's also why we haven't done an episode on The Way of King's Prime.
Oh yeah, we weren't gonna do that.
Way of King's
yeah,
Prime.
I couldn't get through like chapter 1. I'm like, I'm good actually. Although,
Ilio, you read it, right?
I've read like the first 10% or something like that.
Probably more
this
everyone
is the
else.
New
I think you're like,
none of us read Way of King's Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so hard to read.
So many books.
I don't want to confuse myself by reading it.
Yeah.
There's enough Cosmere crap to keep straight in my head as it is. I don't need to muddy it up with non-canon things, confusing everything.
Let's try it.
But yeah, I am also massively looking forward to the Era 2 stuff because that is my absolute favorite.
You've been waiting for Lost Metal for a very long time, Rosemary.
Oh my! You have there was so much weeping and gnashing of teeth in this house when Brandon announced that he couldn't do Lost Metal the last time he was going to because he broke Apocalypse Guard. The breaking of Apocalypse Guard broke my heart because it delayed Lost Metal.
It's really exciting. That said, we absolutely will do a Dragonsteel Prime episode, which Brandon said will come with the Words of Radiance leatherbound, and I'm very excited to finally talk about it with people because we currently don't allow discussion of Dragonsteel Prime because it is not publicly available. It's not very good. But there are interesting things to talk about other than Way of Kings Prime is just like, this is just weird.
It's like we already have the better version of this.
Why is it Crom here instead of Krem? It's just like, it's just weird.
Dalinar always gets
Dalinar,
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dalinar.
Yeah. Like I read Mythwalker and Mythwalker was like really bad. Way of Kings Prime is probably not Mythwalker bad, but
you know what we should do? We should do episodes on like those unpublished things that are available on Brandon's website. Like well, not the full book.
You have to read Aether for that.
Yeah, I've read it.
Aether is actually not bad.
Yeah, there's some really yikes stuff in there, but
there's definitely very yikes stuff that I actively choose not to remember.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
Are the liar chapters still online?
Through the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
I think our currently pinned
They're not
thing
on the
it
website.
It's the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
The Wayback Machine was very useful.
We can do those things. I still want to do episodes on the annotations. I think those can be a lot of fun.
Basically, the more stuff that we go into unpublished, that means either we're running out of topic ideas, or two, we don't want to do much research. But I guess the unpublished things, we have to read things. So,
but they're usually short. Like, not the full books, but like the other stuff is.
Yeah, I just avoid the unpublished stuff in general because, again, ADHD brain, confuse. Please, no extra info that doesn't actually count.
Yeah, and I think for like Aether of Night, it would make sense to do that when do a comparison or something like that when the actual book comes out eventually.
Okay, see you in 2050. 2040.
So
we'll all be old people. Our kids will all be grown up. Joff's kids will not be in the house, so won't crash the party.
It'll be Joff's kids hosting this by then.
Might be.
Guest star Dalen Sanderson.
Oh Christ!
Oh man.
Yeah, that is a scary thought, though. Brandon's kids being in the fandom potentially. It's like, this is very weird.
I genuinely dread the day like when Dalen or one of the others like joins the forums or whatever. I'm like, how are we gonna deal with that?
Oh man! If we ever have to ban them, I want to be the one that hits that button. That's like, I want to do that.
But the thing of it is, we could send a very we know exactly who their parents are. We could totally send a very sternly worded letter to Brandon saying,
"Dear Emily."
Yes.
Dalen was being naughty today in the forums.
I have a feeling that they will probably not be that into the Cosmere because
I have a feeling
having
too,
grown up with it, it's like, oh yeah, that's that thing my dad does. That's his job. Like,
that's
weird.
Yeah,
it's like a bunch of actors being like, oh yeah, my kids are not into like big Marvel movies, even though like they're totally massive. They're like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. So it's like, we'll probably be okay.
Well, what
your parents are never cool.
Yeah. So the kids are not into their parents' characters, but like they are into other superheroes or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Joel is the oldest of the kids. Yeah, but
It just reminds me of a story of, I think it was oh, now I'm forgetting her name. The actress who plays Anna in Frozen.
Oh, Kristen
Bell. Yeah, I think she's had interviews where she's like, yeah, my kids like don't care like at all. Like, this is one of the biggest Disney movies. Actually, I think the biggest Disney movie ever. And they're like, yeah, you're still uncool, Mom. Like, you just don't care.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It reminds me of
Parenthood.
Of the picture of Paul Rudd, where he's with his daughter going trick or treating, and she's dressed up as the Wasp, and instead of dressing up as Ant-Man, he dressed up as Weird Al Yankovic.
Love that.
It's like when your dad's literally Ant-Man, and you
yeah, it's like I think that's a little tacky. There was a question in chat about the mists potentially being preservation's light. This has been discussed a long time. I know Brandon said on the spoiler live stream that you could theoretically capture mist in a gem. I had a great theory in 2015 before bands came out that maybe the Southerner Magitech is like mist fabrials. I still think that was a pretty good theory because, I mean, I couldn't have guessed what actually happened at bands. Like, never in a million years. I don't think it's like, oh, yeah, of course, obviously. But I wouldn't say the mists are the light. Like, they're slightly different, but very related, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've always kind of had the principle that Investiture comes in three forms: gaseous, liquid, and solids. And no matter which shard you're with, they are all kind of the same thing. So whilst light and the mists aren't the same things, they're both gaseous investiture versions of that shard.
They're filtered through whatever planetary lens it is that the planet they've invested in.
And like solid
and it
is
just
like
happens to be on Rorschach. Those things are known as lights.
Because we know it leaks out, so it is a gas. It's not light. It has like mystic curls in the wind and shit like that, you know.
Yeah, it's called light because it's a portal into the spiritual realm, and like light comes through it. But like I would say, like mist is, I don't think, as concentrated as light investiture wise. So like you could probably refine mist into something more similar to stormlight, but right now it's too diffuse.
Yeah.
And I think there is a word of Brandon that you can distill, quote unquote, distill mist into something akin to a god metal. So
that makes sense.
I'm mostly with Bet on this one. I think they are both gaseous investiture. They're just like different manifestations of it because they come from different shards. Breath,
like I feel like if you distill down the mist, then like it would just turn into Lerasium. I guess that's the way I think about it. It's like it's almost like water and ice and steam. It's just magic.
We have the in Stormlight we have the shard blades that form out of a mist sort of thing before they become solid. So there's a parallel there.
And then when Brandon said, sorry, I was going to say, during that live stream, someone asked if so someone could burn, a Mistborn could burn like a god metal of Tanavast or cultivation, like the shard blade metal. And Brandon was just like, yes, they could. And I'm sitting there like, say asterisk, Brandon. You've answered this question before and you've said asterisk before. Please add an asterisk to that yes. And he didn't. So I got very nervous about that.
Yeah, like, I mean, there are some distinctions, because, like, the mist is very interesting, because, like, when Vin ascends, like, the mists were literally, like preservation stuff. Like, it's kind of weird. The mists they're still mysteries with the mists, I think.
Yeah.
And how that works.
I think there's a wob out there that's like, the mists are more akin to the high storm than like stormlight. So like there's probably like mist light within the mist.
Yeah.
But like the mists are also in some sense water vapor. Because that's what
so weird. And
so
like even rereading Era 2, it's like, wow, it's pretty weird that the mists never go into buildings ever. I'm like, Yeah, it is weird.
That is weird, yeah.
I mean, that was the same in Era 1. Like, they mentioned that in Era 1. It's like, you can't go into the tents and stuff.
Yeah, it's just interesting that it's like, Brandon's like, wow, you know, it's still kind of weird it's doing that. I'm like, are there mysteries? Oh, what mysteries are there still in Mistborn? Like, what are we going to learn in the next 2 hours?
Mysteries to Aaron.
And the mist preserves people's privacy. That's why it doesn't go into their homes.
Well, but that's an exact parallel.
Harmony is very polite.
You can't charge spheres inside.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
Yeah. So,
I
like,
never made that connection. That's
There's definitely relationships. So that'll be interesting to.
Gaseous investiture is actually just the Fae, and you have to invite them in.
Yes. X-Mex
just like a vampire.
Vampires.
Yeah. X-Mex in chat says there's always another secret, Eric. I was like, yeah, when are we going to learn about Lutha and why it's called Luthadel? Why is that all Rafa? Is that ever going to come up? I don't know if I said this on a stream, but I had a dream like a month or two ago that like Brandon was saying something about, oh yeah, Lutha's gonna be important in Era 3. I was literally like dreaming about this. It was like, and then I woke up and I was like, is that ever gonna matter at all? Like, ever? I don't know.
Or is that just one of Brandon's troll Raffos?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. That's just we just have no idea. But I don't know. I'm very excited for Lost Metal to get some answers. Very good to learn that we will kind of know what Trell is.
You know there's going to be things
we won't find
unanswered.
Out.
You know there are going to be even more questions though in that book that we will have to wait for Era 3 to get answers to.
Yeah, but that won't be as far away.
Yeah.
The thing is Era 3 is probably closer away than Bands is to Lost Metal. It's true.
Don't remind me of how I have suffered.
Well, I guess he'll write all 3, so they'll kind of be a bit later. So that might not be true.
Yeah.
But he will be writing Era 3.
It'll be closer.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
we shouldn't have any really big pauses in between those 3 books, at least, because he's just going to write them back to back.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he can just release one a year, and that does sound really nice.
That does sound real nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of Coppermind work.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of Coppermind work. I do think like having them back to back will like keep up the hype because like Stormlight has a very regular release schedule and stuff, whereas like Era 2 is just like, I don't know, you're gonna get it when you get it. That's what it's gonna be. And so there's always less talk about Mistborn, but like I think after Lost Metal and Stormlight 5, I think people will be pretty hyped about Era 3.
The curse of my favorite being the accidental one.
Yeah, Era 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just think about how all of us Rithmatist fans are feeling.
I have that sitting on my shelf back there. I haven't read it yet.
Why
haven't read
it? It's good. That's the thing
really
that's sad about it.
That meme of the mother and the 2 kids in the pool. Like the mother is playing with a kid and it says Stormlight Archive, and then the other kid is drowning and it says Era 2.
Oh yeah.
And there's a skeleton on the bottom that says the Rithmatist.
Oh yeah, that was a great meme. That said, the Kelsier memes from the Fortnite stuff was really great.
Oh,
like, they were really
I have been enjoying every
memes.
minute of. I love all of the Kelsier Fortnite dances. They're hilarious to me, and I feel like Kelsier would think it's all just the damn funniest thing he's ever seen.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things I saw on Twitter was someone being like, "Can we stop having Kelsier trend, please? He'd love it, and we don't want that."
Yeah.
Yep.
Kelsey would be very into Twitter if he was in the real world. Like,
oh god, Kelsey, can you imagine people from the Cosmere on Twitter? Terrible idea. Whew.
Speaking of Twitter and Kelsier, Loki is trending on Twitter right now.
I wonder
that comes out
why.
on Wednesday.
I'm
Exciting.
So excited.
We
I'm
finally
very,
finished WandaVision.
very excited. Hey.
We finally finished WandaVision. It was really good.
Art the trend
It
instead.
is very good.
Yeah. Yup. I mean,
I was gonna say, because Eric and Jess, when we were recording the Ishar cast, and Arjun wanted to make a joke about Ishar, but couldn't because you guys hadn't finished.
Yeah.
WandaVision. Do you guys know what that joke is now?
Yeah, I know.
I went back and found the joke, and I didn't understand it, and then Eric did, and he pointed it out to me.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
it's because I forgot about the thing in the show. Which kind of takes the entire joke away.
Honestly, that part of the show was what Jess and I probably liked the least.
Wow,
I agree.
That's legal.
Wow.
I mean, we can go in more details. I feel like people don't want random big WandaVision spoilers.
I think it's helpful on a stream to everyone to have WandaVision spoilers.
Yeah. But
Also, I've definitely, without spoiling WandaVision, I definitely thought the first half was better than the second half, and I just wanted the first half just to keep going.
That's true.
I was
true.
very into that.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Still very good. Still very good,
though. Looking forward to Loki.
We can do a WandaVision cast at some point.
It's surprising how much like after Endgame, I'm like, is any of this stuff gonna be good? And then like Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, I'm like, oh, these are very good. I'm very interested actually.
Yeah.
Oh no, controversial. I didn't like Winter Soldier and Birdman.
Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I really liked that.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh,
so.
I got like 3 episodes in, and I was just
I liked it.
It was
like they do a good job.
It was very topical.
Yeah, they build up really interesting premises, and then I don't feel like the payoff is what I was wanting.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's true. But they're still like good.
I have issues with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I enjoyed watching it, yes, but I am so psyched for Loki. My most popular fanfic ever is a Loki fanfic that for some reason like went mildly viral, and I got hundreds of comments on it, and none of my other fanfics have ever done that well, and I'm like. That one Loki fic that I wrote way back in high school.
The world is very thirsty for Loki.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Have you seen him?
No, that is justifiably so. I'm making a statement of fact.
Yes.
I wrote like 25 posts of meta-analysis of the original Thor movie based around Loki at one point.
Wow, I haven't seen the original Thor movie in a while. Tumblr.
People don't like it that much, but it has a very wonderful place in my heart. Just because I think they both did an interesting thing, but also kind of shot them in the foot with this idea of like Loki acts like a bad guy throughout most of that movie, and the audience is really suspicious that he's like doing bad villain things. And then the quote unquote twist at the end was like, no, he was trying to do a good thing, but it didn't work and it failed. And people don't really. Loki's motivations in the movie are really interesting. Anyway,
was he trying to do a good thing in the first Avengers?
He was.
No.
Not the first Avengers. In the first Thor.
Oh, in the first Thor, got ya.
He's like sneaking around and doing all of this, like doing all this sneaky stuff. He freezes Heimdall when Heimdall tries to like call him out on it, and it turns out he's trying to trick the Frost Giants to wipe the Frost Giants out because they're like the enemies, and that's how he's going to prove that he could be a good king or whatnot. But
I don't think anyone cares about decade-old Thor spoilers.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think he's just like legitimately doing evil things throughout most of that movie, and like, oh, he's working with their enemies and letting them into the palace and stuff like that because he's a bad guy, and that's not actually what a lot of that movie is. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't remember the first Thor at all, other than
say that
the one joke where he drinks coffee and then smashes his cup and goes, I want another.
Another.
That's the only thing I remember about the first Thor movie.
That's all you need to remember.
That was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The stories are just more complex now, and I really like that. You know, as opposed to like the phase 1 things where they're just like, all right, you know, they're good. Like, I'm just glad that like I really liked WandaVision and Falcon, and like I feel like they're really like stepping it up. Like Ant-Man and Wasp was fine, and the second Spider-Man was charitably fine. Like that's as good as I could probably say that movie is.
It had some questionable plot ideas in terms of giving a high schooler the ability to call drone strikes on people.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the questionable part of the plot.
No.
It was that he was misusing the drone strike ability.
Shocking, I tell you.
Yeah, like that. I don't think I ever need to see Spider-Man Far From Home ever again for the rest of my life, ever.
Yes.
Like
I
Thor:
must
The Dark
say,
World.
I did really enjoy the villain in that movie because he was so clearly the villain the entire time.
Yeah.
Then you get the change, and I was like, "This is everything I was waiting for."
You know what
Yeah,
my
he
favorite
was
thing-
loving it. He was loving it for sure.
My favorite fun fact about Far From Home is, you know, the outfit that the villain wears. I'm not going to spoil it. When he's not wearing his usual outfit, that's actually the mocap suit he actually was wearing. Like that's his actual.
So funny.
It's his actual mocap
cool.
suit.
And they just adapted it. Oh, that's
They just
so
like adapted it to
Amazing.
make it look a bit more futury, but it is his actual. So like he's just wearing that one mocap suit the whole movie.
I love it.
There you go.
I like how you don't name him because you want to like preserve spoilers, and then I don't name him just because I don't remember.
I mean, the issue with that movie is that anyone who Googled the character name is like, oh, it's famous Spider-Man villain. It's like, oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, I guess they're the villain.
I don't think that's meant to be like a shocking twist or anything.
Yeah,
No,
that's like
I don't
saying,
think
like,
it's meant to
whoa,
be.
the Winter
It's
Soldier's
incredibly
Bucky.
obvious.
Whoa.
He's the Winter Soldier. Whoa.
Whoa.
I think it was
I am-
more like make him look plausible enough as a hero that it makes sense that Peter was fooled.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they did a decent job of that. It's like we all knew it was coming, but Peter had no clue.
Yeah. So, and like compared with those movies, like I'm just pleased that like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier really, to me, stepped it up a lot. Like I'm excited for Doctor Strange 2.
Muchly so.
I'm excited for that.
Because that's gonna have Elizabeth Olsen in it, and I'm very interested in that. So I'm
super excited for Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yes.
The next Thor movie.
It's gonna have Natalie Portman be Lady Thor.
Jane as Thor. She's just Thor. She's not Lady Thor.
Oh yeah,
she's just Thor.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, but it's gonna be great.
Which I assume they're going to pull from the comic series that did this, which was the most recent, the Mighty Thor. But I don't know how far they're going to go with that, because there's a lot of things that I don't know how well they would translate to the MCU. Like, for instance, in that series, Jane has cancer. And part of the plot is that whenever she picks up Mjolnir and transforms, it's undoing her chemotherapy because it's like it considers that a poison inside of her and like heals her. And so like the more that she goes out to save the world and rescues people, she's actually slowly killing herself in order to do so.
Oh, that's really cool though.
It's
a
very, very good series. There's a whole thing about like the Asgardians are trying to figure out who she is. Odin's like really mad. He thinks like old Thor should, like, she stole his hammer and stuff like that and wants to like have her arrested. And there's this whole like reverse messianic theme of like a mortal sacrificing herself to save the gods, as opposed to that sort of, it's very well written. If you're at all curious what Love and Thunder might be about, go check out the Mighty Thor series with Jane Foster. Very, very, very good comic.
And the movie's being done by the same person who did the third one.
It's like
that definitely makes me very interested after seeing Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, just the title Ragnarok and like the stuff the MCU set, like had it more be a dark movie, and it was a very silly movie, and so like that still doesn't jive in my brain. Still,
the real title of that movie is Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, pretty much. Whereas like Love and Thunder, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm gonna get. It's probably going to be very silly as well, with Taika there. And, you know, I mean, Chris Hemsworth does love the sillier Thor stuff. And I mean, like, it is better. It is better. I get that.
Yeah.
So, like, my expectations are more set correctly as opposed to Ragnarok, which is like, there's a weird scene with Ultron's like, oh yeah, they're all dying and stuff. It's like, then we're just doing silly things in the galaxy. It's like, okay, cool. All right, that's not really what I was expecting, but okay. Still very good.
Definitely going from like Ragnarok into
Infinity War is
the one before Endgame that
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. Sorry, I misheard what you said. Just like that turnaround was a lot to deal with.
Yep.
That's a mood change.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quick. Yeah.
Anyway, this has been fun, everybody, but I think I do need to sign off, but I know other people are going to continue going for a while.
Yeah, I think we'll do like another hour.
Another hour.
Yeah. But yes, I need to sign off. This was fun.
Okay,
do it
thanks
again
for coming,
soon.
Jess.
Bye.
See you soon, Jess. Have a good one.
You will see her soon. Now, see, the audio worked out fine. We just had to be in separate ends of the house. Problem solved. And I had to close the door.
There was a little bit of like fanny noise type of thing, but
yeah, there's some things that can be worked on.
but much better than.
Oh yeah, it was very bad us being in the same room. That did not work out. All.
Yeah.
Like,
Careful
really
with how we phrase that around the UK people. No,
what?
Fanny means something different over there.
Oh right, yes, right. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
no, we still say fannying about though. It just also means something different, you know.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, I was going to say I'm looking for. Oh, there was one question I wanted to talk about a while ago. I saw it forever ago. And it's a very quick question. Do you guys know about the Hoyd Risen 10 theory?
I saw the thing in chat, and that's the first time I've seen. Like, it was so obvious what the person meant.
Yeah. So yeah, the theory is all the letters of Hoyd in the alphabet. You add 10 to them, and then it's Risen, and that's the theory, and that it has some sort of meaning. And I'm never
probably something to do with the Dawnshard.
I'm not a big fan of numerology theories in general.
Incidentally, the reverse is 16. Never like because 26 letters, so going the reverse is 16. So people are saying like 16 and 10 has to be intentional.
Nah, but I think it's happy coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a coincidence.
Yeah,
it's one of those coincidences that Brando's like, I did that? Cool.
And like maybe if someone points them out to him now in 50 years' time, he'll use it. But you know,
chat. Is there more to this, or is the entire theory? Oh, hey, this is neat.
I mean,
it's all eyes of it.
I think that was all of it. And because they're related by dawn shards and yeah.
No, I think this is neat, but I also think it's completely incidental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think this is like Balderdash is an anagram of Shardblade.
Oh, Shardblade, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that's a complete coincidence. I don't think Brandon because like Balderdash is a real word. Like it didn't create a word to be an anagram.
I don't know actually. I think maybe
imagine that like Brandon came up with this sort of like idea and then made Risen's name and then decided that all Thalen names need to have weird amounts of consonants so that her name could be plausible. And that's why Thalen names are the way they are. Conspiracy.
That might be true.
Why? I don't remember why, but I am under the impression that Risen picking up, ascending to, merging, becoming the Dawn Shard is a fairly recent development in Brandon's plotting.
Yeah, I don't know.
So when he first came up with the name back in the Way of Kings, like he was not thinking about Dawn Shards and hinting things so that her name ties with Hoyds and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's probably coincidence.
But going back to the Balderdash thing, I actually think Balderdash was intentionally used it because he knew it was an anagram of Shardblade. I do think that was Maybe at some point he decided to throw Shardblade into an anagram generator and saw Boulder Dash. And he's like, I'm going to use that at some point. And,
Yeah. I feel like he may have like written out just like a quick sketch of Rissen's arc, but so I think he may have like known that there would be Doncharty stuff going on. Like, I don't think he wrote more than 2 paragraphs outlining her entire arc, but because
rip spoilers.
Sorry, AI the chicken.
My understanding was that, or my assumption is that Brandon always planned for the events of Dawn Shard to take place. Like, he always planned for that Dawn Shard to be important in Stormlight in the future. Putting Risen in that position is a new development.
Yeah.
I think he really kind of fell in love with Risen's story in Words of Radiance. And then, much like Adolin's original story was not much at all, it didn't exist. And then Brandon developed him into a full character. Risen started with, this is just a throwaway interlude character, and now she's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm a big fan of Risen, so whichever way it went, I'm glad we're getting more of her.
Yeah, she's very cool. I think it turned out really well.
I like Risen a lot.
Distracted because I have a dog with the zoomies back in the other room.
I also don't think that 5775 is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything.
I mean, the naming of the chapter is very intentional that it is named in the top room, but the numbering not so much.
That I like much more.
Yeah, like chapter titles definitely can mean things. I don't.
Yeah.
The chapters move around in the books, like
and chapters are broken down, and sometimes new ones show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think that's just seeing patterns that don't exist, to be honest, or at least were not intended, in my opinion.
Arjun, your impression for Risen came from a Dawn Shard annotation. He said that Risen wasn't in his very first outlines at all.
Oh, okay.
And then he decided upon this path for her while working on Words of Radiance.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So, like, I mean, a lot of things change when he writes these giant books. So,
one of my favorite, like, cool chapter title things that Brandon has done is, I believe it is the chapter that Shallan shipwrecks in Words of Radiance. And it's called The Day's Masterpiece, which isn't, I think I've mentioned this on a shortcast, but that phrase isn't actually in that chapter anywhere.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a reference to a sentence in The Way of Kings really early on, where Shallan paints Yasna and she like finds, I think it's the ruined picture that she had called The Day's Masterpiece in the last book, but it got the chapter name, even though it doesn't show up again. I was like,
that's nice. Because a lot of the time they do just grab things in the chapter. And like, I don't know if they have a lot of meaning, but something like chapter 2, Kaladin's first chapter in Way of Kings being Honor is Dead.
Honor is Dead.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And like also,
really,
also in Words of Radiance, like the chapter where Shallan kills Tin is called Blossoms and Cake, I think. Something along those lines. And it's a reference to like earlier on, like Tin is always like, oh, you've had an easy life. And Shallan makes comments like, my life hasn't just been blossoms and cake. Like, and like Tin doesn't believe her.
I always like it when chapters make reference to either other sections of the book or even other books sometimes.
Yeah, those are nice.
Or it's like the chapter when Kaladin and Shallan like get out of the chasms is called True Glory.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to a Deathrattle in Way of Kings, which is like, I have seen 2 men return from the grave, like a heart in their hands, and I know I have seen true glory.
Yeah, like things like that. That's good. And like referring to Deathrattles, always nice. But like that, like some chapter titles are excellent, like Oathbringer 38, Broken People. Like not really referring to other things, but it's just like, oh, that's a solid title for that chapter right there.
Yeah, Broken People is good. Let me open up my ebook and take a look at the Rhythm of War chapter names.
Yeah, chapter names are hard. I don't blame Brandon for in his other series to not name chapters. Like doing that consistently for an entire book is rough.
Like Emily names most of the chapters, right?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't Yeah, Dog and the Dragon, you know, that's obviously what that title needs to be.
I do like the guru
who looked up.
The girl who looked up, and then later on the girl who stood up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a very nice parallel.
Yeah. Things like that are good. Man, I'm so excited for Stormlight 5. I'm also very excited for Lost Metal. Like I'm very, very excited. We finally get that. We'll get some answers. I'm so glad it's going to be longer than Ban's. Like he's targeting 150,000. I'm like, I'm in, and I'm glad that Brandon thinks like, oh, it's going really well. Yeah, I'm very pleased.
A cage forged.
Patrick, regarding your Deathrattles question, we don't know which all of them correspond to. And Brandon actually said on the last live stream that he doesn't intend to have all of them be an event in the book that we see happen. Like there are some of them that happened already potentially, but we just didn't see them. So
happened off screen.
Which I think is the right way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because like if we knew for a fact that like, oh, everything is there, then it's like we'll be looking for it. Now there's like a doubt. It's like, is this one even included? Like, because like there's some that like we think we know what it means.
Yeah.
But others are more debatable.
I mean, when he says that like some of them might have happened before Way of Kings, like we'll never see them. What I like about that is it kind of still implies that we will know an answer for every single one. We just won't see every single one on the page. You know, some of them will have to infer because of things we know what happened we didn't see.
Eventually.
I'm okay not knowing what they all mean because it just adds a layer of depth to it that I don't know, it makes the world feel more real to me.
Yeah.
Makes it kind of feel bigger, right? Well, not bigger, but less contrived, less engineered. Like, not everything that is on the page is meant to serve the story directly. Some of it is just world.
Yeah, because like
there's
stuff
more
about,
going on than we know.
Like there's things about like, oh, the that are just like kind of seeming like the Voidbringers and stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
There's things that are Deathrattles that aren't other things. When are we gonna learn about the broken one? Remember that? What's the
broken one reigns?
Yeah, they have 16 ruled, but now the broken one reigns. What's that?
I don't know.
What does that
I still
mean?
think that's odium, and it's just a.
It's just odium, and it's just
What's the Night of Sorrows? Is that happening? In
that's
book 5?
one we don't know.
Unless autonomy slips in and somehow manages to take over because they have literally broken themselves into multiple entities.
Yeah.
But that's some harebrained nonsense that just popped into my head.
And
Sailors on the Infinite Sea.
Yeah. When's that going to be relevant? Who knows? But we will do an episode. It won't be the next Shardcast episode. That's not what we're recording next weekend. But I imagine we will be doing an episode on the stream, probably the episode after next. And if Brandon's coming to JordanCon, I imagine we'll get some words of Brandon there. And so I imagine you'll see that. And that'll probably be all our words of Brandon for the year, to be honest, for the most part.
Might get another stream near the end.
Cytonic.
Of the year,
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like there might be another. So we'll talk about that in detail. I did like Evgeny's cell phones thing. It was very funny. like in chat how annoyed you were that Adam picked that to read out rather than a real question. Like I understand the frustration, but it's also immensely amusing, and the pain gives me power.
Well,
funny.
I mean, a significant chunk of my frustration is for the comedic effect.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Obviously, I'm always happy to.
God, Arjun, don't break character.
No, just a little bit, Gotta do that. Other people things like meme all the time. Yeah.
Lift
for this
show
for
a second.
Our show business here. Yeah, that's what this is. Show business.
Yeah. No, I'm always happy to be a source of entertainment for Brandon in these otherwise not tedious but tedious adjacent streams.
Yeah. I like how someone in the chat was like, when someone asked a Lord Ruler's Kids question, "You're welcome." And then someone pointed out, was like, mentioned me, and I made sure to ping them and be like, "That's true."
Yeah.
I'm so glad we have a platform to tell people our own beefs, and then they filter back.
I do wonder, like, at this point, or maybe years down the line, what things we are going to be remembered for as kind
That's
of
true.
Oh, this is like Eric and the Lord of the Rings kids, right? That's kind of a thing. Feather and Renarin, like, and Kelsey.
Renarin's eyes specifically.
Well, sure, but Renarin in general, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what am I known for? What is Joff known for? What is Palion? And Ian is.
Evgeny, and they let you in here.
Who let you in here?
Yeah. Ishar's sex master Ishar.
Oh, the sex cult. Look,
we didn't put that in the episode.
He was
glad you left
at some point.
So I just want to ask, because I didn't hear what I was known for because Paleo started talking.
Was that Cosmere?
And I'm just curious.
Who's the Cosmic character master?
Okay.
And autonomy and certain shards being dragons.
Because they are, obviously.
If they do
end up being dragons, I am going to lord it over all of you.
Oh, honors purposes, yes.
Honors purposes, yes.
Honors purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honors purposes are basically the Mandra, or
No, I thought those are the space whales that Kennedan will ride.
Honors purposes. Back half gets very weird. Really jumping the shark. Calden just flying over to Braze.
Jumping the whale.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. In the physical realm, the Mandras are actually space whales. Actually.
And Ben will have to be known for eating the shoe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%. I'm on record complaining to Brandon about that. But then I did it. And then I didn't actually have to do it.
Ian known for Tamu Kex. That's what chat said.
Classic.
True.
Yep.
Ben is known for killing Shardcast ads. I
don't kill Shardcast ads. I groan and I disapprove.
Yeah, and then I note that feedback. I put it in a drawer. I do it anyway.
Close the drawer.
He never looks at it again.
Yep.
Just put it in the suggestion box.
No. But if you have ideas for Shardcast episodes, we always are adding things to our very long list. I think after Rhythm of War, we got like 40 topics without even really trying very hard. So yeah. But yeah, so a lot of fun things.
I saw another question earlier. Do we have any other old theories we want to talk about that have either been disproven or? Oh, well, Asmo's just reminded me we were talking about my Mr. Blobby costume. So let me go get my Mr. Blobby costume.
No,
I'll be right back.
No, this is not necessary, Ben.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh no.
Theories.
I mean, I don't do a lot of
all regret this.
theories is the thing. I had a couple.
No, you should be terrified, not curious. This stream is only going downhill from now
Not
on.
easily frightened off.
I had a long theory about romantic attributes It was very long. I did a 3D graph and everything to like talk about why different magic focuses are different.
I did like that theory.
Okay, this is an inflatable costume, therefore it is amazing.
This is my Mr. Blobby costume that I own.
It's terrifying.
It is in the same level as my Mistcorn costume.
Yeah, it has like a fan in it and everything because it inflates up, and you know, I wouldn't lie to you guys. I have a Mr. Blobby costume. It's a very important thing that I own.
I look forward to the days when the pandemic is over and I can get the Mistcorn costume back out.
For Mr. Blobby, can we just get a yikes in chat? That'd be great, thanks. If every one of you just say yikes, that'd be great.
That'd be
Jeff, tell her to say hi.
I'm not going to put it on. That would be too much.
It takes a while to get one of those things on and in place and inflated.
Wait, why are we saying yikes in chat?
Because
Mr.
Eric told them to.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
told them to. I'm very pleased they're following instructions well.
I want Argent to get a Gunblade cosplay prop.
Yes.
While demanding that Brandon tell him about point finding.
No. Okay.
Very Final Fantasy.
We got to have a real talk about this, okay? So, I am having a lot of fun playing the role of the crazy homeless wob starved guy who will do anything for wobs and will do illegal and or morally questionable things to get wobs from Brandon. That is not the case. Okay, there's a very hard line, and I am nothing but respectful of Brandon's autonomy and other 15 shards.
Wow.
And so when he says no, that's a hard no. And doing jokey, violency things, even though they're jokey, that's over the line.
Argent is a responsible adult, everyone.
That's
like all the rest of us
that's
staffers.
Slander. Do not listen to her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna resupply on drinks as a responsible adult.
Were we talking old theories? Did that start before I interrupted it with Mr. Blobby?
We were thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this wonderful theory that Renarin wasn't a normal truth watcher back a while ago. Felt pretty good about that one.
Indication. My big Stormlight theory has a giant leaking hole in the bottom of it now after the way Rhythm of War turned out, but it's not entirely dead. But it probably is. My theory on Dalinar picking up Odium at the end of the front five.
Oh yeah, that's probably gonna struggle with that one now.
It seems unlikely that Brandon is going to switch shard bearers that quickly, and he, especially when whatever he plans to do with Taravangian is probably going to last more than one book. But there's still the outside possibility that I might not have been talking out of my butt.
Yeah, it's like, because Taravangian has done this, like, we're not expecting it to change hands again so soon. So it could work. He could be doing a bait and switch. But
yeah, I mean, I still think that if Dalinar sees Odium drop, he would be the one to go, I must be the one responsible enough to pick this up because I think I'm the only one who can resist it for long enough because of how he shook off the thrill. And I'm like, well, good luck with that, buddy. But
I'd agree that
it's in his character to do so, because you don't want to leave a shard lying around because it's either going to splinter and cause problems or it's going to gain sentience and cause problems. And Odium is all problems.
Yeah, so Odium is the one shard you don't want to gain.
Shard of problems.
Yeah. So Dalinar would, being the hyper responsible adult that he is, far more responsible than Argent, would pick it up out of a sense of duty.
I also have a sense of booty. duty.
God damn it, Argent.
Great.
If we're talking about other theories, I had, it kind of came from the podcast we did about Amia. And during that podcast, we kind of connected a bunch of dots that the Dawn shards were related to Amia. And this was before we had like anything concrete. And then I put it all together into forum posts and I got it all together. And we got most of it. There's like the one final bit that the Dawn shards we used to create ancient fabrials, which probably isn't the case. But other than that, we hit every other mark when it came to Dawn shards. We were out. It was good. It was a good podcast.
Yeah.
I liked the theory that the Dawn shards were unmade into the unmade, which obviously isn't the case.
Yeah.
I'm glad that one's dead, to be honest.
Today we are drinking Monkey Shoulder, which is a very nice budget scotch.
Yeah.
It's not very exciting. It's a blend. But it's cheap and it's all right.
Gray was kind enough to throw a shout out to my "There's Something Wrong with Roshar's Afterlife" theory, which I'm still very fond of, but I don't know how much water it could hold these days. I think there's possibly something there. I'd had one like a while ago. Basically, the whole idea of like the thought that we need to fight to take back the Tranquiline Halls was not necessarily just a religious metaphor. There was maybe actually something keeping Rosharans from getting to the afterlife. Which possibly, I mean, the sort of like the screams that Zeth and Dalinar hears could maybe be showing that people are lingering around Roshar longer than they should be, but I don't know. I thought that was going to be the main like focus of the plot of the Stormlight. This was like a Way of Kings era only theory. That like fixing the afterlife was going to be what the Stormlight Archive was about. But
I think I may have seen that at one point, and like
I've definitely read it. Yeah,
and either adopted it as like canon in my head. Or developed a theory of my own that is very similar. But like I've been working off of the whole there's something wrong with the afterlife on Roshar for many years now. And especially the screams that Zed hears, and also Dalinar also hears screams at a couple of points in Oathbringer. Although obviously we didn't know that before 2017. So yeah, interesting.
I've always liked my. Oh,
no, go ahead.
I had a theory in the past that the whole story about dying and becoming an eternal soldier to fight for actual heaven is something that was culturally stolen from the singers, because when singers become fused, when Singer in ancient past, Singer would die, become a fused, and then has to fight eternally in their afterlife to take back their rightful place in the world, which would be Roshar.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I've kind of always linked those as that's where that came from, as it was culturally stolen by the humans, because the humans stole everything from the Singers. So it kind of just adds another thing onto that of things that humans took.
It would not be the first time that Vorinism has shown like fused ideology secretly.
Propensity for theft. I want to run a thing by you guys, and it's a small, like, not even a theory thing, but like there's a couple of times in I think in Oathbringer and in Rhythm of War where Singer related stuff, like let's say Singer culture, is described as vibrant, which is a word that I paid specific attention to, and I kind of like the idea of the Singer radiance, like Venli, for example, like R'Laine, being known as the Knight's Vibrant to parallel the Knight's Radiant.
Okay.
How do y'all feel about that?
I don't like it because I think they are Knights Radiant. Like, I think naming them something else, like, even if done for like good intentions, does cheapen the fact that like, no, like they are legitimately Knights Radiant. Like, calling them something else, like, kind of like lessens it. It's like, oh, like, no, they're the Knights Vibrant. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Well, but to provide a counterpoint to that, the Knights Radiant obviously originally were, the Knights Radiant, the organization established by, or at least kind of aided by Ishar and Nodan. The current Radiants don't need to be that. Like, there is some, I don't know if it's a lot, but there's some like organizational and cultural baggage that comes with the original Knights and their kind of structure and their government and their role in the societies of Roshar. And not all of these things are applicable in the current situation. And so having two different organizations, the Knights Radiant and the Knights Vibrant, might be a way to like tie them together, but also not diminish one of them, but put them on the same tier while also recognizing that there are differences between them.
Yeah, I'm just getting very strong, separate but equal vibes.
I want to say that,
from this.
but yeah.
It's just like, it's like any division is counter to like
unification,
counter to what needs to be done. It's like separating them. It's like, oh yeah, they're their own thing. Like, no, like they are Knights Radiant. Like,
I'm kind of liking the idea that the void binding chart is actually some sort of like enlightened radiant organization.
Void
we were
Knights,
talking about
Void Knights.
2 months ago or something.
Yeah, and it's like,
if we're already having like a separate group for them, it doesn't make sense to have another. So that's kind of my main
realm. Or the Knights Vibrant, sorry.
Just the name for like Singer Radiance.
Oh, Singer Radiance. Yeah, I would agree that I would want the Singer Radiance to be in the usual structure. In some respect. Eventually.
I mean, they can have their own, like, they can have their own like sub-organization within the Knights Radiance, but they are still Knights Radiance, so you still have like the Singer Windrunners and the Singer Stonewoods.
And like the idea of like Knights Vibrant, if it was like something else, like not like not like you're bonding a friend to become a Surge Binder Knight Radiant. Like if it was like some other magic system, like related, but like not literally the same.
Maybe it could be like a rogue fuse, I guess, like those who are not on the side of Odium that call it. It would be an organization that could take that name.
Yeah,
if we don't want the Radiance.
Yeah, I'd up it for like Rogue Fuse.
It's a really cool name, like Knights.
Yeah. And like the different Spren feel differently, and clearly the Reachers feel pretty differently than others. So we'll need to see how it goes.
I really hope that changes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, so I'm very curious.
Can I throw another theory out?
Yes.
This is not the most exciting, but it's a drum that I'm still beating. I think that Tara was in Oathbringer.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
with you there. Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people were unaware of this. I thought she would show up, and I was sure she would show up in Stormlight 4, and she still hasn't. But I'm holding out faith that.
Remind people who Tara is, quick.
Yeah. So Tara is Kaladin had a relationship with a woman named Tara at some point in the past when he was in Amarim's army. There's a sort of a flashback in Oathbringer where we see her
break up, and
we don't know much other than that they had a relationship and they broke it off, and it didn't really go very well.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in Oathbringer part 2, 1 or 2, I think 1 actually.
I think it's 1.
Yeah,
in the bar,
where they're in a bar, and this person is described, and then later on, when you see the flashback of Tara, the descriptions, there's a lot of parallels between the two.
And
Brandon
Tara
never came back to it. It never came back up. So
they not only did the outfit match, because the outfit was like dungarees or something. I can't remember what you guys
It's
call them.
like Thalen clothing.
Thalen clothes.
Like she's
with bright color, with distinctive colors.
Yeah, and Tara also mentioned that she'd got a job as a scribe for a bright lady, and so a bright lady involved in Amaram's army probably would have made their way to Urithiru, so it makes sense that she'd be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do hope she turns up again.
Yeah, there's definitely something up there. Just like, well, maybe to a lesser degree than Vasher just magically disappearing in Rhythm of Forest. Like, what's up with that? What are you doing, Vasher? What is up with that?
Yep.
Oh,
have we got a Nini?
Have we got an Nini?
See if she's going to be able to join us this time.
Drum roll.
She's gotta show up to yell at you from
Hello, welcome.
Hey.
Hi. Noise, or sound, audio, video.
Yep.
Oh, and
We
audio.
can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can see you.
hear you.
Great.
Hello.
Woohoo.
So this
Hello,
is one
everyone.
of our mods, Eni, although we realized yesterday she does not pronounce it that with the Ionic.
Well,
What?
Wait, do you not? Is it not the Aeon?
No, it's the Aeon, but I say it Een.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm one of those people.
That's fine. We don't pronounce any other Aeon correctly. Eni's the only one apparently we decided to pronounce correctly.
No,
Yeah, I just don't like
I
Serene.
put a lot of
with,
effort.
Like Serene.
in pronouncing Aeons correct.
Yeah.
Like the Aeons themselves, I do like you have to pronounce them correctly, but not
The
the
words
Aeonic
derived on
names.
them, I totally
Yeah,
don't. So I
yeah,
was just like,
yeah.
nah, I don't care. Yeah. Cool. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah. I don't know what Vasher's up to though. I don't know if we'll get answers to that in book 5, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much book 5 needs to do. So
We don't have an answer for what Vasher's even doing on Roshar is the thing. Unless this is just like his retirement, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He's just done with everyone else's crap and wants to have a nice quiet retirement, teaching people how to fight.
I like
'Cause
how
that's all he knows how to do.
Brandon said in the spoiler stream, it's like, right now Vasher is not living his best life. It's like, well, that's true.
Or he's actively hiding from Vivenna.
Yeah. I feel like, he's got to be there for a reason, plot wise. Vasher's got to be plot important.
Phil Candy's like, who the heck would choose Roshar as their retirement home?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you need investiture to live on.
Yeah.
Real
There's
estate's
still, like,
probably
the-
impending apocalypse.
Yeah.
There's still like the theories that his plot relevance will involve his like giving up his divine breath. That something is up to use it in Stormlights for something.
I really hope it's like that's like an Era 4 thing. It probably will be a Stormlight thing, but I'm seeing Era 4 as the culmination of all these big things, and I think Vash's divine breath being used for something is like that feels big enough to be an Era 4. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. For that to make sense in Stormlight, we need to know enough about the return to like have that make sense to Stormlight only readers, right?
Yeah.
Rearrange investiture.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, I feel like Vasher and Nightblood are fundamentally Stormlight characters, and so the important things with their arcs need to be resolved in Stormlight.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, there is a really good reason why he's on Roshar, and it's because it's one of the very few, if not the only place in the Cosmere that he can easily get the investiture required to not die without having to handle consequences. I mean, there's a reason he doesn't want to live on his homeworld, and it's because taking breaths from other people is generally unpleasant. So he is retired on kind of a crappy place, but there's plenty of investiture for him to absorb and continue going.
It will be cool to see Vasher do something and start living the good life that he kind of started doing in Warbreaker, but then I don't know, man. It's interesting.
It's just so weird.
I always enjoy story arcs where a character is like this, maybe not necessarily a veteran, but like somebody who was really good at something back in their youth or back in whatever, and now they're just kind of bumming it out, and then something happens, and they're like, okay, well, back to my prime.
Yeah.
And then they just kick major ass. That's always such a fun trope.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think a really good example of that, because it is a very, very good trope where it's like come out of retirement for one last fight and they absolutely just kick ass, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see Basher kick ass again. Like I that just won't be book 5, I don't think, but maybe back half. Like I feel like Brandon has to have a plan, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't just throw someone like Vasher into a story and not have a plan, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the 6 through 10 being like a lot about the Heralds more so, I can totally see him coming into play more there.
It's about cognitive shadows. Like, let me tell you about cognitive shadows even more. I already did that, but
God, I love that so much.
Sachet Jane asked, why do so many people think there will be no Heralds? And it's because I know, at least from my point of view, if they want to reforge the Oath Pact, they're going to need new Heralds because the old ones are just... They can't do it anymore, guys. They did it for thousands of years. There's a reason why they all broke. And you can't seriously tell me you want to send poor Talonel back there after everything he went through. The only one who kept it going.
All you need is the Shar. He'll handle it. Well, good.
and also because reforging, I think one of the reasons it's really big in the community is that reforging the Oath Pact is basically one of the major suggestions that the characters have had to how to solve this situation. That in world, it's been suggested as something they're considering.
Yeah, and I mean, like we just did an Ishar episode where Ishar's like, "I will reset the Oath Pact, but I gotta be sane to do it," and I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, so it's one potential route, and if they take that route, then you need new Heralds. Though
there is also
certainly many other paths.
Yeah, we've had the sort of, here's our 10 main characters who each represent one of the orders sort of branding.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
I've never liked any of
kind
that. Like
leans into
it. Two of those main characters though are already Heralds.
Heralds, yeah.
It seems like pushing them back into that cycle is probably a bad plan.
Especially
does seem
Tom.
like a bad plan.
Like,
yeah.
Not that Ash seems like she'd do much better, actually, to be honest.
Adventurous Rover asks, "Hey guys, what are your predictions for Wax and Wane 4?" I don't know if we're like super prepped for that right now. There will be an episode for that eventually. I don't know if we'll be recording it soon, but
I think they're gonna talk about ATM. That's all I got for you.
Yeah.
I think there will be a bait and switch, and the lost medal will not be ATM like we all assume it is.
Yeah, possible. Possible. Just like bands, so it's like, it's this. It's like, it was not that.
When it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
that
know.
for the episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely have some things. Even though we reread it, like I think we got to do a few podcasts. Then we'll do the Lost Metal predictions episode, and we'll see it next year.
I think we've mentioned it a few times. So pretty much a lot of us. I was going to say pretty much all of us, but I think a lot of us are currently rereading Era 2. Like we're in the process. Like I've just started Bands. Ian, you finished Bands yet?
I finished this morning.
Yeah, so
I need to do that.
Expect content.
Yep.
Yes. And
too busy rereading Daevabad, man.
We're not gonna
back to me later.
We're not gonna give you this all the material that we need to use for later casts.
Exactly.
So I think, Ben, we should do Who's That Cosmere character, because I don't know about you, I'm hungry. I need lunch.
Oh man, we are at 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Did not even notice that.
I think we gotta do some Who's That Cosmere character.
Oh no, I have to. Normally I start prepping it as we get closer to the 2.5 hour mark, and I just had not noticed we were close to 2.5 hour mark at all. So I've not got any ready. So chat amongst yourselves whilst I
voted. We know nothing about night forms and why they were randomly just guards in Rhythm of War. We don't know.
I hate that so much.
We don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But yeah, good
very
question.
Little about regal forms.
Yeah, seriously.
Other than like the ones Vinley has had.
Yeah, pretty much. Dire form, night form, all
dire form. I just think they're neat.
The song of listing or whatever does suggest that night forms can see the future because there's a stanza that talks about the Everstorm essentially.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few things about night forms there.
Yeah.
I did like our theory that night forms were a form of power of cultivation. I don't know if Rhythm of War actually supported that though.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
I have a Who's That Cosmic character, and it's awful in the best way.
Okay, all right.
And so this is gonna be good. Okay, so as we switch to his
move the chat. Nobody look at the chat.
Oh right,
everyone
right.
the chat. I'm gonna do the intro first anyway.
Chat.
All right, Ben, you're moderating chat. Be good, chat.
And also, I'm going to do the intro. So, welcome to Choose That Cosmic Character, the game show where you guys send in 5 clues and a character to wtcc at 17shard.com. And we read out those clues and people have to guess. And if they guess, then they win. If they don't, by the 5th clue, then they suck. And, there we go.
All right, then.
Right, so this one was sent in by Igneous Spellbane. And
that is an awesome name.
That's a nice username.
I'm going
out of a D&D campaign.
Yeah,
you guys might want a pen and paper for this.
God. Really? Okay.
I have WordPad up. Is that good enough?
That's good enough.
It's Igneous Spellbane, you said?
Igneous Spellbane.
I'm turning that into NPC. Spoilers for my D&D
spreadsheet.
I have made a spreadsheet, if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I have to guessed what. So this is
one second. I have to put the chat on one half of my screen and the clues on the other. Otherwise, I won't be able to see chat and the clues at the same time.
I think you need more monitors, Ben.
I need more monitors too. It's not enough. But yes, you can guess in the chat. People are asking. You can guess in the chat, and normally what I'll do is I'll try and see the first person who guesses it in the chat and give them kudos. And if they beat, then
Yeah, this is why I expect you guys to spam your guesses in chat, which is why we can't look at chat.
Exactly. Okay, so clue number 1. This character is not a Koloss, is not a Kandra, is not a Miswraith, is not a Sion, is not a Skazy, is not a Spren, is not a plant, and is not a biochromatic entity.
Okay. What the? You need to do that
was a
much
list.
slower.
Please.
Wow.
I'm going to start typing these.
Well, there's a spreadsheet in our content.
Is it?
You want the clue again?
Please give us the clue again a little slower.
Okay. It is not this character is not a Koloss, is not a Kandra, is not a Mistwraith, is not a Sion, is not a Skazy, is not a Spren, is not a plant, and is not a biochromatic entity, and is also not Silence's grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just going to be some frickin' human. So I'm going to go with Felt.
It's not Felt.
Wow.
Basha. Oh, is he a I have to return a biochromatic entity.
What is the biochromatic entity?
They are,
though.
I guessed him, so no.
You guess Vasha. It's not Vasha.
Are other cognitive shadows biochromatic entities?
Nope.
Eric, you said Felt, right?
I said Felt. Yeah, this is just going to be some regular frickin' human.
No, it's not a human.
I will go with Gallant.
Oh,
It is not
nice.
Gallant.
Nice.
I like it.
I'm going to go with Marsh.
It's not Marsh.
Ooh, that's good.
Elsier?
It's not Kelsier. Oh no, I've lost track of who's gone. Oh no.
Don't worry, it's on the spreadsheet that
we're putting in that
has.
spreadsheet. Who's guessed
That's
what?
why I keep mentioning the spreadsheet. Paleo's
get
here
to
to
the
save our
spreadsheet?
bacon. It's in content creation, as I
It's
said.
in content creation. Okay, well,
I did say it.
I know. So
there we go.
Joshua, Ini, and Evgeny still have to guess.
Evgeny guessed.
I did guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then I missed that.
I guess that was
Scrap, which I think is Balat's axe hound.
Oh, nice.
It's not Scrack, but lots Axehound.
Nice.
Teasing.
Good guess.
Eni?
Oh.
Teasing. Is my mic?
It's not Caesar. No, I can hear you. Sorry, I'm paying attention to like 3 things now because I've got now a spreadsheet and the clues as well. I'm gonna let you guys manage the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
We got it.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, cool. And then so that means we're only waiting on
Nobody.
Awesome.
Everybody.
Excellent.
Yep.
Cool. Right. Bear me 1 moment.
I'm glad we're doing this on a stream, so I don't need to bother putting the frickin' clues on screen. That's great.
Clue number 2. This character is not from Ashen, is not from Braze, is not from First of the Sun, is not from Threnody, is not from Yolan, and is not a reptile.
One of these things is not like the other.
These clues.
So, in other words, we still have Roshar and Scadrial, the place that we have the most characters, and is not a reptile.
And we still have
not a dragon then.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Say it again. Let's make sure we got them all.
Is not from Ashen, is not from Braze, is not from First of the Sun, is not from Threnody, is not from Yolan, and is not a reptile.
Great.
Then Kenton.
And it's not Kenton.
I'm gonna go with Lord Praxton.
It is not Lord Praxton.
Kenton, give me my boombox.
Do fused come from Braze or Roshar? Because
I would say they come from Roshar. Yeah, they're born from Roshar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was originally thinking Braze would be helpful, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, not really.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody is from Braze, really.
Well,
I think it's terribly hospitable.
What does it mean to be from Braze?
I mean, but the thing is, the Fused do spend most of their time on Braze. So, like, I was born in Bulgaria, but I've lived most of my life in the US. So I'm like, I tell people I'm from Chicago.
It is always hard to answer. It's like, where are you from? I'm like, a lot of places, I guess. Like, I don't know.
The Fused would say they're from Roshar.
The Fused would absolutely say they're from Roshar, yeah. Like, I was born in Manchester, and I say I'm from Manchester, but I've not lived in Manchester for most of my life, so luckily.
I'll guess Galadon.
This is like the worst version of Guess Who.
It's not Galadon.
You're just flipping down the little things, like, well, there's and then you're making me guess when there's 1,000 things still up.
Yeah, we still have
Shallan?
Rosharans.
I'm guessing Shallan.
It's not Shallan. It's not Shallan.
Theme. I'll go Sureblood. Why not?
It's not Sureblood. It's not Sureblood.
Is it Cheery Cheery?
I hate Ian so much. Yes, it is. Oh my god! Okay, because the next clue was one of the better ones. Clue number 3 was this character cannot speak like normal humans, does not live in the cognitive realm, is not male, does not have dark eyes, and is not a scaredy cat. Clue number 4 is this character is not large, does not have a small appetite, and does not eat solid food. And 5, this character is not of a species that is widely believed to exist.
I mean that it does narrow down, and
it
so
narrows down eventually.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a stupid human, so that's good.
Yes.
Love-hate relationship with this clue.
Like I said, it's awful, but I found it really funny, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So the first person who got it in chat was Adventurous Rover. So well done, Adventurous Rover.
Very adventurous.
Yes, Chiri Chiri is not a reptile because things on Roshar are a weird crab.
Crabs are not reptiles.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, now I need to go find another one. I promise to find one that's not as bad as that one.
Let's fill some air here.
Speaking of things that are apparently sort of crustaceans, did you guys see the CDC had to, it's the FDA had to warn people not to consume cicadas if you have shellfish allergies?
Oh, yes, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
There's so many cicadas here. We are in the thick of it, and I would wish all of the Brood X cicadas a very please don't land on me anymore, because I don't like it.
Oh, that must be really rough to be on the East Coast there.
They haven't hit me yet.
I ran into a news article about what to do if your pet eats a cicada. which I didn't read because I don't have pets.
Just one is not a big deal. If a dog eats too many of them, they could have some upset tummy because they have trouble digesting the shell. But my dogs love cicadas. Oh my, and they think they're the tastiest crunchy snack ever. And they're small dogs. It's like, you guys don't need to eat many of these at all.
I had one hitch a ride on the back of my shoulder as I got into the car and on the way out of the grocery store, and like I just heard the buzzing behind me before I turned the car on, and like managed to get it off of me and out of the car before I turned it on. But they're big. I don't know if anybody has seen cicadas. They're like large bugs.
Monkey boys.
Yeah, I mean, we have cicadas here in Kansas City, but we have the regular yearly ones. We aren't quite far east enough to get the weird cyclical broods, but there is a species of cicada that just pops up every year, and but they don't come out until like late July or August.
Yeah.
I'd say that I'm feeling better in California, but it's all gonna be on fire later this year. So you know, I got my own problems over here.
You know, wildfires, locust plagues, whatever.
The screaming of the trees.
It's just 2021, am I right?
Yeah. I feel like every elevator I get into has dead cicada bits in it. Like there's just dead wings all over.
Why?
They're everywhere. All over. They're everywhere.
When you're used to the yearly cicadas, you have no real concept of how crazy the cyclical broods are, because, you know, we're used to just having, they're around, but this is like swarm of cicadas, because that's their survival strategy, is time it in weird intervals so that the predators don't hit a general predator spike, and just flood the market with billions of them so that there are enough to survive no matter how many get eaten.
Apparently there's a butt plague for the cicadas, I think. I heard about this. There's a butt plague. A butt plague that's eating their butts. And like it makes them like shake powder, and it's a powder of death that comes from their butts. Like
it's a fungus. It's a butt fungus. It's a parasitic fungus that essentially zombifies them, and it just like eats their insides out, and then they trail spores everywhere.
Gross.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What, do we have a thing, Ben?
Yes, I have one now. I was waiting for the cicada talk because I was kind of just I was fascinated. Okay, so firstly, I found when I was clicking through them, I found another one that was very, very similar, where it's just a big list of things that it's not, and it made me laugh a lot. I didn't pick that one.
Thank God.
You can save that one for another day.
That's another one. Yeah.
The anonymous walrus who selected my cell. Can you not be in my cell, please?
I also just realized that the one I picked is also from Ignatius Spellbane.
What? Really?
Yeah. So in the option of fairness, I'll pick another one.
Can the anonymous dolphin click off of my cell?
Let's see.
I'm so glad the viewers get to listen to us talk about the Google Doc that they cannot see. We're really elevating their stream experience, really.
We have an alligator, a badger, a dolphin, a ferret, a goose, an otter,
and
a quagga.
And you, Evgeny, are a llama.
Oh, I win!
Llama.
We have a walrus, and we have Marvin.
Yeah, because Marvin is properly signed into his Google account for some reason.
Well, no, if it's just sharing with the link.
We are on the Google Doc.
Yeah, I'm signed in.
There was a thing where... So why do we not have chat in this spreadsheet, is my question.
I feel like we can deal with this later.
Yes, I'm ready now. I have another one now.
Let's do the thing.
Fine, whatever.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this one was sent in by, and I'm going to butcher the hell out of this name.
Great.
Ooh, I love it.
Madeline Hiranaiwiki? I want to say. It's probably very wrong.
Thank you for your submission, Madeline.
Yeah.
Thank you for... Yeah. Okay, clue number 1. This character is not from Roshar.
Love it already. Silence is criminal.
It's not Silence's grandma, but I did click on Silence's grandma, and I chose not to because I knew you'd guess her.
Felt.
It's not Felt.
No, he will have anticipated us.
Yep. Put your guesses into your little spots.
I'm not doing anything.
Not Tensoon.
Spreadsheet. I'm gonna let other people
Galadon.
do it. Like
It's not Galadon.
Tanavast.
It's not Tanavast.
Okay. The enormous dolphin needs to get out of my cell.
I thought we were listing which
not
clue
Kenton.
was what. Not the guesses.
Dolphin.
We don't need the guesses listed. I don't think.
I'll say nail.
And it's not Nail. Rosemary, have you done one?
I haven't. Not from Roshar.
And
Not
Ian
from
hasn't looked
Roshar.
good.
Vin.
And it's not Vin. Clue number 2. This character is stubborn.
Oh, it's not Kenton? Wow. I'm gonna go with Braxton.
It's not Braxton.
It's valid.
Raoden.
It's not Raoden.
I wouldn't describe him as stubborn. I will steal the theme and guess Brisala.
And it is not Chrysala.
Waxilium
Stubborn.
Ladrian.
So Shadesmar
not
does
Waxen.
count as Roshar, right?
Yes.
Wow, you're so nice giving us actual
I
useful
know.
information.
There's a huge clue there, you know.
Yeah. Maybe I have guessed Stick as otherwise because he is rather stubborn.
That's fair.
But
Oh, God.
Well, his
I had
stick
a
body
It's
is
a stubborn.
in the physical
Vasher. You don't get much more stubborn than Vasher.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Vasher.
Nightblood.
It's not Nightblood.
Vivenna?
And it's not Vivenna.
Oh, I have another V guess.
healthier.
It's not Kelsier. And then, Joff, have you gone?
Yes, Raoden.
Okay, cool. Clue number 3. This character is centuries old.
Vasher was a good guess. Yeah.
Marsh.
It's not Marsh.
It's a good guess.
Jezrien.
It's not Yezrien.
Taln.
It is not Tol.
Is it Vendel?
It's not Vendel.
Hoyd?
It is not Hoyd.
Stubborn centuries old.
Keeper, I believe, was the Kandra who went insane, and that was who they were going after in the quest. Into the morning.
It's not them. And I can't remember the name, and I didn't quite hear what the name was. But it's not them.
Keeper,
Relure.
I think.
Relure, yes. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Relure.
Right.
Yeah, it's not Relure, no.
I was thinking the Lucy.
I guess if we're going Condra, what about Palm?
It's not Palm.
Palm's a good one.
I don't know if I would describe her as stubborn.
No, I
I mean,
Persistent?
just kind of
Driven?
in the end.
Kind of sexy, but also terrifying?
Okay, we're not listing your kinks here, Argent.
Oh, well, sorry. I thought this was the wrong show.
welcome to Kingcast.
Oh.
Who's that? Argent King.
Pavadin?
It's not
I'm going-
Pavadin.
oh,
And then I think, Alex, you're the only one left.
Not for this round. I said
Eric, who
Eric.
did you guess?
Eric hasn't
I don't
guessed
know.
yet.
No, I did. I'm just
You-
not
you
putting
did
it in the
guess.
spreadsheet.
Oh, you're
Okay, I'm just
You're
preparing
blank.
for the next.
yeah,
then.
no, I'm
Okay, cool.
look.
Nope.
Yeah. I guess.
Clue number 4. This character has no specific sex.
The sibling.
It's not the sibling.
Ooh.
You're
Sibling
wrong.
is from Roshar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Yes,
I
they are.
didn't consider.
Aren't all the
Maybe
sleep?
I didn't
are the
consider clue
sleepless
one.
stuff from Roshar? I assumed the sleepless were off the table because they're for Roshar. Am I wrong about that?
Well, at
The
least
sibling
swarms
ship
that
would have
we
been off the
know,
table,
except the
yes.
First.
Look,
First one.
maybe
isn't
The
it?
first is
maybe
not from
Ben
Roshar.
was deceiving us.
Maybe I lied.
Also, what Ben considers to be from Roshar doesn't necessarily have to match what Madeline considers to be from Roshar.
This is true.
Ben, I'm gonna go with Kenton's boombox.
It is not Kenton's boombox.
I want to say this is something on Cell that I don't know, but I'm going to keep thinking about it. But that's my thoughts right now, and I'm opting out if it's on Cell. Like, I know what the Aeons actually are, lol.
Bavadin.
It's not Bavadin.
You guessed Bavadin before.
Bavadin is already guessed, but you can guess them again.
Yeah.
It's not Bavadin again.
Yeah.
Do we know what gender Guy was or Skay?
No, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I very specifically said sex, not gender. I just want to point that out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Then I'm guessing them.
It's not. Was it Sky? Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Sky.
Dominion.
I feel like it's narrowed down enough to the point where if we can't figure out who it is, we can't think of any other good guesses.
It's crazy to me that none of you guys got it because you guys got so close before.
I feel like it's one of the first or second generation Kandra probably is where I'm at right now, but I can't remember any of the names.
Kendra can tell each other.
Yeah,
like they have.
Yeah, they have.
Don't we know?
They don't have sexes.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Okay, well, you guys haven't guessed Milan.
Their sex is fluid. Yeah.
It's complicated.
I guess
you haven't
guessed Milan.
It is Milan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Someone say it! Jesus Christ!
I was ruling out
like
Kendra.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, if the clue was that we didn't know their specific sex, so that's why I went to Kendra.
What do you mean by specific sex? I feel like that's what does
maybe because in the I don't know. I would say that the Kandra don't have they don't have a set sex because they can switch between.
Well, it's like
sex,
they have
a set gender.
Because they have a Kandra sex. It's just they can replicate.
Yeah.
The spectrum of human sex.
Yeah.
But like they can tell like
those are not the same.
It's a sense thing, right?
Human genitalia are not natural to them to begin with. So just because they're
that's the point.
That doesn't necessarily mean that
that's a good point. I'm thinking very human centric. That's a very good point. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Classic mistake.
Do we know
the fifth clue was this character's a shapeshifter, so yeah, you would have got Kandra after that, yeah.
Okay.
But do we know whether Mistwraith, do they have sex?
They would, when they be given spikes, then they would become the person that they are, because Mistwraiths are people with something removed.
Well, they breed true, so I would assume.
Yeah.
Original.
They breed true.
Mistwraiths were.
It's an interesting question. How do Mistwraiths breed?
Ask that on the next stream.
I imagine that it's something we just don't want to know.
That's probably not.
Hey, hold up. I'm gonna put this on my list.
Support us on Patreon and we'll commission some art.
Oh boy.
No.
I'll do it.
New Patreon tier.
No, I veto this.
Those are not the new patron tiers.
I do not want health class
money, and I will make this happen.
Of Mistwraiths.
I think this is going to be like.
Oh, I forgot to say who got it in the chat. The first person to get it in chat was. Oh my god, I can't say this either. Latico Lapsy.
Good work, Ben.
Well done.
You're doing
Latico
great.
Lapsy.
You're doing great.
Ask me to pronounce things. Can't do it.
You're doing great.
That would be funny if the Kandra had like cute little infographics of like your body's changing, and it's like a Mistwraith with a voltage spike going in.
That would be really funny. That'd be really funny.
You'll start sprouting limbs in funny places.
Technically, they always do that.
Yeah.
I gotta run.
All right.
Yep.
Are we gonna do one more?
Josh is wrapping up.
It's 4 o'clock. We've been doing this for 3 hours.
We should get that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, I guess. It was certainly a stream. That's for sure. True.
Wow, factual statements right here.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was a stream. We had chat.
Happy birthday to 17 Shard. New patron tiers will come out soon, and expect another video on Tuesday, I think. Yeah.
Fun.
So we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Radiance.
Caw.